Hello, this is Danny B. Welcome to tonight's episode of the NASCAR Weekly Podcast. Recently, some events have happened in the world of NASCAR that has had many of us on this show, myself included, very much on edge. I will admit, and I want to go ahead and apologize to my audience, I did jump the gun, along with, I think, the folks mostly in NASCAR. As it turned out, the investigation done by the Federal Bureau of Investigation did conclude that there was no hate crime committed at Talladega Superspeedway this weekend. With that being said, though, things have been opened up, and true colors have been shown as a result of all this happening. I've seen some nasty stuff from people online, stuff that no one should be proud to be associated with. It's even affected my friend and co-host of NASCAR Weekly Podcast, Daryl. He received some serious threats over the weekend that should not be tolerated, and we believe we figured out who this particular person was who sent this, and now appropriate parties are being involved in that. But I want to go ahead and say now I think is a good time for us to try to just move on, continue to send a message that we just want everyone to be able to get along, enjoy NASCAR. And that's what this show is for. I believe that in the first few minutes of tonight's episode, myself as well as my other co-host, we're going to talk about what happened to Bubba Wallace. We're going to talk about the results of what the FBI found, and we're going to talk about how do we move on from here. In addition to that, though, we are pleased to be welcomed by some great guests tonight. Please join us in welcoming ARCA driver Ty Gibbs, in addition to NASCAR media personality and co-host of Sunday Money podcast, Daryl Motte, in addition to former Tennessee Titans player turned Chip Ganassi Racing pit crew member Jonathan Tig Willard. And joining us and Tig will be someone that I've known for a while, but haven't met, admittedly. But it's actually my wife's cousin, Crystal Clay. She's getting into the whole YouTube thing, and she's got a very unique point of view, and she's the one who helped even connect us to Mr. Tig in the first place. And we're pleased to welcome her on the show tonight. We've got a great episode ahead of you guys, so sit back and let's enjoy the NASCAR Weekly Podcast. And, yeah, a lot to discuss tonight. Enjoy.
Flag, green flag. I'll roll. He's flipping me up. Ah! Hell yeah, boys! How about that? They touched. Watch it in the wall. He threw it off the track. Baby, that's how you do it. Get that second flag, son. Yeah, baby, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And we are live, everybody. Welcome to the NASCAR Weekly Podcast. Hope you enjoyed the little intro there. Welcomed by my three co-hosts as usual. We're here on DannyBTalks. Guys, we've got a lot to discuss about what happened at Talladega.
Yeah, a lot. First off, let me just start off by saying the past couple of days have been the craziest of my entire life. I'm not exaggerating that. I can kind of go bit by bit, I guess, and I'll try and be as quick as possible. You know, hearing the news was absolutely troubling. It was sickening. I was working on a video talking about the now debunked Goodies Dash series, that doesn't even exist anymore. And I was going to talk about that with you guys. But then, starting to see all the news trickle out, and, NASCAR put out a statement saying there's going to be a full investigation, Bubba putting out tweets. So by the time I got the news, this was already after more than an hour into it. So I kind of just went along with the crowd, this is bad. We need to find this dude. We need to find whoever did it. The next day, though, the next morning, it was probably the craziest morning of my life. Okay, so I wake up, I see the news, and NASCAR is probably, they're going to do this whole unity thing. We didn't know what it was going to be exactly, but it was going to be special. So I was looking forward to that. Not even 10 minutes later, after waking up, open up my emails, and I see a particular someone sending me, an email. I'm used to getting hate mail. I mean, my email's out there for business purposes only. So whenever somebody said something, I expect it. But when you see your family's address getting doxxed on the internet, and someone saying, basically sending you threats, that's another thing. And, for those who don't know, yes, I did, somebody did find my childhood home. That I don't even live there anymore. My mom, my stepdad, my little brother, who just had chest surgery and he's still recovering right now. He's had chest problems in the past. was there. You know what I mean? And it's not to say that I was worried about, I was worried about their safety, but like I do know my folks. Trust me, we have 2 dogs, and we do keep some stuff over there. I'm not gonna go get into full detail. So if anyone did try anything, then they would protect themselves. Trust me. But it's still heartbreaking, because I never would have expected that ever in my life. And I honestly didn't know what to do. I called my mom first, and I told her, hey, just call everyone, make sure everyone's okay. I called a couple of my high school buddies and say, hey, go by my house, just to make sure, everything's all right, everything's secure. And then after that, I called the police, they later forwarded me to the FBI, to my local branch out there, and was able to get that solved. And then later on, the culprit basically snitched on himself, it seems like, and I can't believe he did that, and then threatened my best friend Jared's family all the way out from Rockford. So then Jared had to call the branch out there to get this whole thing figured out.
And truth is, if this particular butthole didn't make the mistake of giving us his name by using a different email account for YouTube, then he probably would have tried this of all of us. Because
exactly.
I'm a YouTuber, so on my YouTube channel, my email address that I do business from is there, because I have had brands in the past reach out wanting to work with me, and we've done work with them, and I'm all up for that kind of stuff. But I'll just say this as Darian's friend here, that kind of stuff right there, I don't care how mad you are about this and that draws the line right there. And I will always stand up for my friends. If you try to hurt one of my friends, I'll always stand up for my friends. I don't care what's going on in the world.
Well, we saw what the dude looked like. He wasn't hurting anybody. Okay, that's number one. All right, but
either way, man. Either way, it's still
it's no excuse. There's no excuse for it.
And it was like you're saying, like, it's not as much like being scared for your safety. Even though I will admit, when someone is saying they have your address and where your family lives, it more or less really just it pissed me off.
My sense of security for the past couple. I'll be honest, guys. My sense of security, even my own apartment, which is safe, by the way. My sense of security the past couple of days hasn't all been there. Not gonna lie. Like today was like the first real day of normalcy for out of the past 2 weeks. You know what I mean? And to get back to the story after that, to see the whole Bubba Unity thing, like I didn't cry like most. I was just like, I was shocked. I was speechless. I was like, wow, this whole thing is actually happening. I never thought I'd see this type of unity and this type of movement in NASCAR, in my lifetime. I figured I'd be long gone before any of that happened. And, thankfully, I'm blessed to live on this earth to see that, happening, and I feel like in a sense, it really validates, fans who are people of color in the sport. This is what we've been trying to tell people for a while. Like NASCAR is moving in the right direction when it comes to this. They understand there's people of color here. We want change, that sort of thing. We want to make everyone feel comfortable at the racetrack. They get that. Yeah. But just to touch on this, and I know we'll get into this more, the way this all went down, yesterday when all this went down, the news came down that the whole noose thing was basically nobody hung a noose, nobody hung it, for racist intent. It was just a garage pull down. First off, let me just be the first to say of this. I am sorry from the bottom of my heart for jumping the gun. Okay. All right. I think in a normal circumstance, we would have waited for the facts to come out, because I think we for the most part have done that in, other situations, but this situation was just totally out of left field. The past couple of weeks have been totally out of left field. This isn't normal, like we haven't had to deal with any of this ever. And I really think the community has really shown, they really grew up really fast over these past couple of weeks. Like we just like to talk about racing, but then, we came to a point where we couldn't just talk about racing, and how were we going to react to this? And I think our reactions for the most part have been, nothing but positivity and love. Like when I first spoke out, you guys started to speak out too. And like, a few of you guys even came to me and y'all said, hey, I want to help. I want to speak out, but I don't know if it's my place. And I'm like, no, bro. You need to speak out, man. Just speak out. You have an opinion, say what you need to say. And y'all have had my back since day one. So I really appreciate and love you all from the bottom of my heart. And I guess in conclusion, like I said, on Twitter, I just want to move forward from this. I just want to move on. What's done is done. basically we got our point across. Dude, the Confederate flag is gone forever. That has not changed, okay? To me, Bubba Wallace is a fucking hero. For everyone who wants to say otherwise, I just think you're absolutely wrong, man. You know, he's spoken out for us, and now, you know, to see him, you know, take this crap, you know, last night and even today, you know what I mean, even though it's died down, it's just wrong for somebody who simply just wanted to speak out, and for someone who literally did nothing wrong. The facts have came out. He's done nothing wrong, and yet some of y'all still want to tarnish on him. You know what? To each his own. Fine. You can be hateful, but we're not going to do that. We are going to move forward.
Exactly. I guess we're very well said. And as I said at the beginning, you know, I'm also sorry. I definitely jumped the gun, and I'll admit to that. On Twitter, I said foot and mouth, and that's all I can say.
I think that like also speaks just in general the way that the situation was handled too. Because I think not as many people would have immediately jumped on it had basically every point of informational authority on it been like, this is what has happened, and went with it. I'm not saying it means that it absolves us from, like, you know, our screw up on it. Obviously, like, I guess I said on Twitter and in my comments and on my community tab, like, I apologize too. Like, I should, because I've been on stuff before and jumped on it and jumped the gun, and you know, it's not a good feeling when you realize you're wrong in something that is this big. But I'll say that the way that it was handled overall, the way Bubba handled it, I think shouldn't be questioned at all, in my opinion. I think he handled it as well as he could have in a situation like that. The drivers, with the information that was presented to them, thinking that a hate crime had been committed against someone who is basically in one of the smallest fraternities of sport, and coming together and sticking by him through it. I don't think that should be questioned either. I think that some people took it too far, but it was with the best intentions. It's just a matter of knowing what the limits are. I just think that higher up, when it comes to some members of the media and NASCAR jumping immediately and wanting to push it public instead of waiting for the FBI's investigation to finish up, I think that was, if they were to redo it, I know that they said they do it the same way over again, but I really hope that next time they wait for all the facts to come out, just like I think, you know, we should probably do. But, you know, all in all, it's like Bubba is getting the short end of this stick because he has a face to pin it on. And what I mean by that is, like, NASCAR is its own organization here. The media, there's members. I saw some people like saying like that they shouldn't even race at Talladega this weekend. They shouldn't race until this is figured out, but wouldn't even specify what. And that didn't help at all either. It just made more people go back and forth on social media.
It's just a name that they can reach out and latch on to, because, like, you know, the three names people are going to know is Richard Petty, Bubba Wallace, and NASCAR. They're not going to know Billy in the garage, you know.
And the thing that sucks is every social media outlet I go on, whether it's my recommendations on Instagram, whether it's trending tab on Twitter, or even just going on TikTok too, everybody is throwing Bubba Wallace under the bus for something that at the end of the day, like, he basically he did have nothing to do with this. The only thing I'd say that you know, at this point has been a misstep, I think, is going on with Don Lemon and trying to double down on it.
Yeah.
He started off that interview very good, but then when he got to the part where he still, you know, didn't see the fact that, you know, this was left behind from last year. It was not meant to be what we thought it was.
I mean, I think what he was trying to say was that, well, you know, yes, technically, yes, it wasn't like, you know, manufactured in that kind of way. It was still technically a noose. That's what it said in the FBI report. I think that's what he was trying to say. But then, to
specify.
Yeah, exactly. But then some people were trying to twist it and be like, well, you said you didn't see it. No. In the interview, he said the FBI evidence that was showed to him. You know, he saw, you know, these pictures basically. So, like, he didn't see it at the time and then report it. A crew member saw it and then basically brought it to NASCAR's attention. I don't know, but To be honest, I feel like it doesn't really matter because people already have their minds made up. So I personally, I've learned from this. I've learned that, I'm definitely a centrist for sure. I'm not picking any political sides. I think you're both toxic. Okay. Number one. And then number two, I've learned, you got to wait for the facts. When it comes to these things, that sort of thing, don't get riled up in emotions. You know what I mean? Especially something as emotional as this, so I definitely dropped the ball on that one. And like I said, I'm really sorry. And number three, like I said, let's just try our best to move forward. We got Pocono this weekend. I know it's not the best track to look forward to, but I want to just see some racing. I want to get back to the racing because that's what it's all about, really.
I think
these outsiders come into the sport and they just say what, they just say and do whatever the hell they want. But like the real people who are here for racing.
Like, what was that channel? It's like Sports Wars or something like that. They're smaller than we are, and they're getting now all of a sudden they're getting a ton of views off this video this guy did. Where 45 seconds into it, I could tell this guy did little to no research on the actual situation.
Like I said, they have their minds made up already. Some of these people, man. So like it's like you can't win. You can't win at all with some of these people. So it's like it's not even worth going down people's throats when their opinions aren't going to change. And it's like people are smart enough to recognize good and bad ideas. And going after Bubba Wallace in this case is a very bad idea.
The way I see it, just let them go. Let them have their 2 minutes of hate, and then they'll move on to the next thing that the mob moves on to. At this point, you can't really stop it. There's so many people that have jumped in on it.
Yeah.
I think
that you can't really do anything.
Dalen Barr had the best comparison to this morning. And long story short of what he said, it's like an airport. If you're there at the airport and all of a sudden you see a backpack sitting there, we have to be worried about that. We don't know why it's there, but all of a sudden it's just there by itself. It could be, for bad intentions, something's going to happen. Or someone could have been in a 2-hour flight delay, had their bag sitting there. All of a sudden, they got the runs and took off to the restroom. We don't know, but we have to be cautious about these kind of things.
Yeah, it's whatever. I just want to move on from it. I think a lot of us do. I don't know. Has Eric spoke about this yet?
I've kept mostly quiet. I made most of my comments clear in my video today, but kind of to reiterate, you guys have covered most of the bases. I think ultimately, I think NASCAR, when they, kind of unprompted, unprovoked, decided to make the initial statement Sunday night, I think they thought they were doing the right thing, getting ahead of this thing, protecting their driver, showing that, this type of stuff will not be tolerated. Unfortunately, in that initial statement, they even say that they're launching an investigation. And then within, a very short amount of time, they had the FBI involved. In hindsight, they've really, given the now FBI findings, it took about a day to find, they've really left, unfortunately, one of their most emotional, one of their already most polarizing drivers. They've left him out basically to fend for himself without really any support behind him. And so I do feel bad for Bubba Wallace. He's been put in a no-win scenario because with the people, like you guys kind of said, who already have their minds made up, who don't want to look at the full story, they're going to believe that he made this up for publicity. Other people, there's no win for Bubba Wallace here, and he's going to have his name dragged through the mud. I do agree with what you said. I think some of his TV appearances have been hit or miss. I do think Bubba Wallace, being as emotional as he is, he wears his heart on his sleeve. I do think sending him out there without a script to respond to this is not a smart decision, because I think some of the things he said is not going to repair his image with a lot of people.
And that's because he was doing exactly what we were doing when we first found out this. He's still speaking from pure emotion. And that's what's going
exactly.
on now.
And I think the other thing that should be understood is, people blame Bubba, saying, well, he went along with it all along. He went along with the lie, the misinformation that NASCAR gave him. Exactly. I think given all the circumstances, you guys have alluded to it, but given what Bubba has spoken up for in recent weeks, recent days, given the fact that there were, I know it was just a very small group, a handful of cars and trucks, protesters protesting the Confederate, that whole deal, given all of the circumstances coming into this weekend, I think the crew member was likely right. From the evidence that we've seen that the FBI has released, was right in bringing the noose to NASCAR's attention. And I think the response from NASCAR, again, they've made it very clear, and they understand how hot, how polarizing, how difficult a topic racism potentially is, they wanted to get ahead of this and they thought they were doing the right thing. Unfortunately, though, if they knew they were already going to do an investigation, it would have been nice for them to have just waited that day, waited 24 hours to hear the full evidence. Because again, there was nobody sharing photos of the noose around saying like, hey, NASCAR, when are you going to respond about this? They took it upon themselves to make it public. And unfortunately, they did so without knowing all the facts and made some kind of strong and bold claims at first that have now left Bubba Wallace, kind of like I think you said, Danny, he is the face for them to pin it on. He is, a driver. He is the name. NASCAR is just a corporate entity. People go after the NFL, but more frequently they go after Colin Kaepernick because there's a face to that specifically.
Yeah.
It's the same here with NASCAR regarding Bubba Wallace being a face who is on the front lines each and every week. Vast majority of NASCAR fans probably don't know what Steve Phelps or Jim France even look like. So it's a difficult situation all around. I think you guys kind of said it best. Move past it. I hope Bubba, it sounds like Bubba on First Take today, I thought his interview was pretty good. He's put out some very good unifying statements on social media. I think, in a time like this, emotions are extremely high, but I think there needs to be kind of just someone, a level head, speaking up and being the voice of reason at this time and place. And I think it's important to see what Bubba's been responding with in the last few hours.
What's preposterous is that we have people who are saying that, oh, well, since NASCAR got it wrong here, let's bring back the Confederate flag. You got that wrong. and they're like, I won't be happy until I see Bubba Wallace banned. I'm like, what banned from?
That's what we do.
Overall with NASCAR leadership, and I think like last week, we got to talk to Steve.
Isn't that crazy? We just talked to Steve last week.
Probably for the best we talked to him last week instead of this week.
Yeah,
it would have been another reschedule.
But I have been someone, especially since about around 2/3 of the way through 2018 on, with this new group of people leading the sport, have been pleasantly surprised at how good they've been at it. I might disagree on little things like number placements or where the tracks are on the schedule with like Daytona and Indy. But at the end of the day, that's not something that's really that bad. It's not going to ruin someone's life. This is the first major misstep of the Jim France, Steve Phelps, Steve O'Donnell, Mike Helton era, really. The thing is it might be one of the, if not the biggest PR blunders in the history of the sport. Because you had PR before with like with Earnhardt dying 2001, but that's not something that you can help. You could, but you know what I mean. It's not something
they handled it the best way they could.
Yes, this one was
the sentiment.
The crew member, the crew member followed the protocol. He went up and down pit road. He looked. He took it to his crew chief. His crew chief followed the protocol. Took it to a NASCAR official. The official then took it to his higher up. The top is where the problem was in this whole thing. Yeah. I think if they just let the FBI do their job. And
then come out after the facts come out and be like, hey,
we as fans shouldn't have found out until after everything was concluded.
Mm-hmm.
The FBI investigation could have gone on. Like, think about the Daytona 500. We all knew Secret Service was there. We didn't know anything that they were actually doing though for that. So.
At the end of it, it's something that should have more or less been a small footnote. But I can see where NASCAR at least is coming from, though. If they don't say anything out in public and then somebody finds out and leaks it, then it's like, oh, look at NASCAR. They're the same as they always been.
Yeah, so it's a lose-lose.
Well, you say that, and I think back to, I think it was Jenna Fryer who said this. She said that the garage area holds no secrets when it was like, when everyone's saying, you will be caught. This garage holds no secrets. And that's exactly what this was. Like, there would have been no way to hide the fact that there's an investigation going on for a noose in Bubba Wallace's garage.
True.
I don't know. With only like 4 reporters at the track, they could have hid it from the public for a day. I think at the end of the day, it was a day. It was about 24 hours. Again, I think NASCAR had the right intentions. They thought they were doing the right thing. Everyone on Monday believed they were doing the right thing. Unfortunately, in hindsight, I know they say they wouldn't do it differently. I kind of hope they would, or at least I would hope that in hindsight they would.
I'm looking at the clock. We have about 5 minutes before we have to invite our 2 guests on the show. I just want to say this really quick before we do that and move on. I guess in the grand scheme of things, NASCAR, yes, you did take, the short-term L here, but like I'm looking at the long-term games for this. Like, I've seen people applaud NASCAR today as well. Like, I mean, I've seen, a lot of people hate on them, like, hey, look at you guys. But I've seen people applaud them today. Like, look, like it wasn't true, but like, hey, attaboy to you guys, because you guys like didn't want to take any chances, blah blah blah, all that stuff. And I really think in the grand scheme of things, long term, the sport just opened itself up to many, to millions of Americans who might not have, even given it a chance. That's all we want, is at least give NASCAR a chance and then make a decision. Don't make a decision based on, something that makes you uncomfortable and all that stuff. Like, dude, you don't even have to worry about that anymore. We got rid of that stuff. Okay. And yes, there's still going to be, some pretty bad people at some of these races sometimes too, because they have their, quote unquote beliefs and stuff. But I think long term, 4 years down the line, the sport's going to be better off for this situation, and we're going to look back on this and be like, you know what, we messed up. But like, overall, the decisions we made that were leading up to that, and then the unity was like basically the climax of this whole deal. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I really think, the future is bright for NASCAR.
And that's what I'll end off on here with this, is just that when I've talked to some people about this, I don't think that the end result of this should take away from what the drivers and crews and members of the community inside the track that rallied around Bubba. I don't think it should take away at all from that, because under the information that was given at that time, they could have all just been like, you do your thing, or, oh, that's too bad, or just given a simple PR answer. They did. I think it was, I forgot who it was, but I was talking to somebody just like through DMs and texting them, and they were like, that right there is a real statement, real activism right there, to rally behind someone for a common cause like that.
Yeah, just the idea of that happening,
Yeah. And so I hope it doesn't take away from that for a lot of people. I think people inside the sport, it's not, and people who are fans that understand the sport a lot, I don't think it'll take away from them. I just hope that in the long term, we look at that and realize like this is NASCAR.
Yes.
All the people outside, all the people throwing daggers and jabs because they're upset at different changes. That's not the
They're
sport.
not fans.
That's not the representation that the sport is. This is everyone coming together. At the end of the day, we all want to finish first. We all want somebody to finish first. Yeah. We all like racing. Like, we have a common trait and a common goal with all of this. So at the end of the day, that is what we should take out of all of this. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of good stuff that has come from this, even though overall it's been a bad situation.
Agreed.
Yes.
Now,
Agreed.
All right, I think on that note, we can go ahead and bring our guests in here. But real quick, before I do have some super chats I'd like to go ahead and read out here. We got GN coming in at $5. Appreciate it. His advice is to don't confront the trolls and lunatics on social media unless they threaten you. They'll move on to something else. But next week, I guarantee it. Crazy.
Yes,
I agree on that. C. Workman, what's going on, dude? $4.99. Key takeaway: let's develop thought-out responses, not reactions, but we can still use this as an opportunity to assess how we treat people. Psalms 139. That's his recommendation. That's his recommendation to go read that in the Bible. And then we have another $2 coming from GN. Can the second half of 2020 please be better? My God.
Please, hopefully.
Sorry to inform you this. I think there's a 200-foot lizard monster coming out of the Pacific Coast. So
there's a dust storm. There's a dust storm coming this week from Africa.
Oh yeah,
I heard about that.
It's crazy.
Block out the sun.
We'll be in Bristol in a couple of weeks, guys, so it's all good.
Oh, and for anyone who notices, this first time on the show, I think I've not worn a junior hat. My brother left his Blaney hat in, and it's a signed one too. He left it in my car, so I said, "Yeah, it's a perfect week to wear it." And it looks like one of our guests is coming in right now.
That's right. Let's see who it is. Oh, how's it going, man?
Hey, Daryl.
What's up, man?
How's it going?
Howdy.
I've been watching.
Are you in your pajamas right now?
Yeah, I'm in my pajamas, man. It's nighttime.
Respect, man. Respect.
Respect. Not bad.
No, it's actually just a bowling shirt or something. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
And I'm drinking.
Yeah, you see? There we go.
Even better.
Best entrance I've ever seen.
He's not on Sunday money. He can do what he wants.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. Did you guys listen this week?
No, I haven't listened to it this week. Not yet.
I want to.
Yeah, we've been busy.
I'm logging off. Thanks a lot.
I'll be honest. I got a 2-hour drive to a fishing tournament this week, and I'll probably listen to it on the way.
Mhm.
And our next
Probably listen to it.
our coming on right now. So.
Listen,
Oh,
it's not a great episode this week. There's a lot of people are in their feelings right now.
Last
Oh,
week's
yeah.
episode was a bit difficult to beat,
Yeah,
I feel
that's
like.
right.
So
All right, we're on. Sorry,
Hey, Ty.
How's it going,
Hey,
man?
Ty, how's it going, man?
I couldn't hear the audio, and I was pulling out. I was gonna go park out here, and the gates were coming at me, so I got all flustered for a second.
Oh, that's all good, man.
Th-
All right.
That's a Zoom thing overall. It's just like
Yeah.
we always have this running joke every time somebody comes in. It's like, "Can you hear me?" And they're like,
Yeah. No.
All right.
So, yeah.
So we got Daryl Motte in his pajamas. We had live in-car camera from Ty Gibbs here. So
Yeah, we got it all right now.
What do you guys want to talk about, man?
So I guess we
Here,
can,
let me get my 1 second.
yeah, get your headphones really quick. We can hear the wind. Thanks, man.
Yeah, I'm trying to find my my audio is sent through my like top speaker, the where you put to your ears, so it's
Oh.
like really quiet.
Oh, okay, I got you.
All right.
all right. So I guess I'll start with this just to
Here, I'll just
start-
go sit back in my car and connect to the Bluetooth. I can't hear anything.
I've never seen
All right, we're back. We're back.
The world is happening over there, buddy.
whoa.
Everything is going wrong.
Sorry.
"It's all good, man. It's all good." We could probably start off with Talladega.
Yeah.
Ty, we need to get you a manager, man. What's happening?
We do.
I am a mess. I am a mess.
All right, you good? You good, man? You good, right?
I'm good.
All right,
I'm ready,
10-4.
ready to rip.
Nice.
All right, 10-4. All right, man. Let's talk about Talladega, man. Jerry, come first.
Where do we start with Talladega? Do we start with the fact that it was rained out? Do we start with the fact that it rained again because we don't have noon starts?
Oh,
Or
which
do we
race?
talk about the insanity?
Yeah.
Oh,
man.
yeah, good point. Which one?
Yeah, which race?
We'll start with the cup one. We'll start with
Yeah.
the cup one and work
Yeah.
back in time. No, man, I loved it. I loved it. I saw so many people that were like, best race of the Gen 6 era. And it might be. It's up there.
Mhm,
Like,
it was.
I
It
think
was.
that.
It,
Oh, go ahead.
it was like it felt so entertaining because all the races before were single file and just running around. So when you got to go out there and they're like 5 wide, and you're like, "Dang, this is awesome!" It was really entertaining. I didn't really get to catch the beginning part of the ceremony and all that, but I was at the shop. But I came back and I was at my house, so I watched the end of it like halfway to go. So
That, like, I saw this article, I think it was, or it might have been a tweet, but it said that this was the most competitive when it comes to lead changes, the most competitive Talladega race since I think 2011 in the fall Talladega race.
when they're
This
4
race had-
wide,
Yeah, this
Yeah.
this race had 57 lead changes over and that's just at the line. Like, I think the last lap had 3 different lead changes. So
Mhm.
And props to these guys to go as much as they did without really having a big crash until right at the end.
Yeah, that's another thing. This package really, like, they kind of tweaked it up a little bit for the super speedways. It really seemed like it was the best of both worlds. It was safe, but it wasn't too dangerous. Like, yeah, I mean, they could be really competitive all day without wrecking.
funniest part of the race though was when it got really windy right before the red flag.
Yeah.
And so, like, was it on the back stretch they're going like 204, and then the front stretch they're going like 190.
If one car had spun out in the front stretch, they would have been in the air. That was
Oh, yeah,
that
without a
was
doubt.
going like crazy.
Well, didn't Chase Elliott spin out on the backstretch for a little bit there? Like he did, right?
yeah, at the end.
Well, that was
That's
after
right.
the wind was blowing so heavy.
Oh, okay, right. But I mean, overall, first off, let me just say this. I might be in the minority here, but to me, Blaney, like, he's really showed me that he's a championship contender, really. I mean, go back to the first 3 races. He could have easily won those. He could have been 3 for 3. He had, obvious reasons he didn't win the 500. And then Las Vegas, man, that was the crew chief there. But I mean, in those situations with 2 laps to go, it's like you're basically a sitting duck when you're the leader in that situation. So, I mean, he could have probably he probably would have made the wrong call on both of them. And then Fontana, like, Alex Bowman just straight up had the better car, but like Blaney was showing up earlier, and then they just ran out of luck. So I feel like now that they have this win, the floodgates are going to begin to open for that 12 team for the rest of the season.
Actually, speaking of Blaney, I want to ask you guys something. And Daryl, we'll start with you. Was Blaney's last lap defense of the lead, we'll call it that, was that fair or foul?
I think that Blaney's performance at Talladega was the single best driving performance we've seen this year. I think he wheeled that car. He was blocking.
Yeah.
He was all for the place. I'm sure you guys saw the save. I said it earlier this week. I think he is the most talented driver that we have at the moment. That includes everybody on the list. I think Blaney proved himself at Talladega that he is he's not going anywhere.
I agree with Daryl with this one. When he saved it on the front stretch going however fast they were going and still held his position too, I was like, okay, that was really impressive.
No, he's proven to be formidable on the super speedways with that. That's 2 wins in a row, I guess, at Talladega.
Well, think of it like this. The last 3 super speedway races, Fall Talladega, Daytona 500, and this one, he was right there contending for the win.
Yeah, that's a good point. The Tyler Racing absolutely suits him best. And I think you brought up a good point. The teammates, the Penske cars, worked together extremely well that whole race. But it was towards the end they got separated, and it was Blaney that was the only one of the 3 plus DiBenedetto, I guess, that was able to work his way back up to the lead. So I think that did show how strong he was and how talented he is at the super speedways. But I thought the race in general was fantastic. It was also great to see roughly 5,000 fans in the stands once again, but it was kind of depressing still to see like the camping areas and the whole Talladega infield. Daryl, I know you're always down in the Talladega infield. Were you like, I don't know, was it troubling seeing it empty on TV?
I was just watching some Premier League soccer this afternoon. Liverpool.
Hey, let's go.
Liverpool, and they actually added audience sounds into the match.
Oh my god!
So when you're watching it, you hear the roar and stuff, but you see the stands and there's nobody there. I think I've been watching your guys' show today. You're talking about headlines and taking position, and we have 30,000 people coming up at Bristol. I hope that all goes well. But if you're paying attention to non-NASCAR news right now, the pandemic is still roaring. So whatever they need to do to be safe and keep the fans safe, I'm fine watching the whole season without fans, even though I'm taking a huge hit financially, but people have to be safe,
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and we'll be there, but we'll definitely have masks. But we're YouTubers, so we're complete shills, and we'll have masks with our logos on it.
Yes, yeah. I already ordered mine today too, and I already got all my shirts ready.
I think I talked about this the other week. If you want to get NASCAR fans to wear masks, just have their favorite driver's number on it. They will buy them like they're going out of style.
Yeah,
I'm serious.
That's a good point.
But are you guys surprised that we haven't seen
any of them?
Oh, sorry.
I was just saying, put Joey Logano, Kyle Busch, Chase Elliott, whoever, put their number on a mask, and I guarantee that almost every fan at Bristol will have a mask on and be like, if you put their numbers on gloves. Yeah, I'm telling you, that's the way you keep NASCAR fans safe. They should do that with all sports. Put the logos on there. The fans will buy it.
You guys should sell them. You guys should get this going. You got a week. Get on it.
You know what? Yeah.
On NASCAR's shop, you can buy some masks with people's numbers on them, but it's like a very select few. I don't even think they have like a Chase Elliott or any of the Hendrick guys even. Like it's kind of select few.
Autograph session is drivers just signing masks,
signing people's faces. Masks, just put your face up in there.
Right. Well, I the first year I went to Chicagoland, some this kid actually had Denny Hamlin sign his forehead. So
yeah, I've had a couple weird experiences like that.
What's the weirdest?
I've had the weirdest experience I had was this guy brought his dog up and he made me sign it, and I forgot what ARCA racetrack was at. Of
course it was ARCA. Of course it was ARCA.
Yeah, it was so weird, and I couldn't sign it because it was all like it was just so hard to sign, and it was a white dog and a black Sharpie.
Dog.
I've never heard of.
It was so. I felt bad, dude. I was like, "Are you sure?"
I can't do this, man. I can't do this, bro.
I know. I signed a couple of kids' hands. They made me sign their forearms, and that was really different too. Because I've never really signed anything.
Yeah, but it's way different than a dog, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We've signed a few things in the past. I've had nothing weirder than like a guy asked me to sign his shirt, and it was like just trying to get him to find the right place to sign it. But
yeah, that's interesting. I didn't even know that about you, Ty. Yeah, thanks for telling us that. That was funny.
Hey,
But really quick question, Ty. I want your opinion now on the whole Blaney move because your granddad kind of owns the team that of the car you wrecked. What do you think?
Yeah, I think coming to win these races are so hard. So it's like everything you got to do it, and it's always hard to look at it in different people's footsteps, because you're rooting for your favorite driver or someone that's on your team. It's so frustrating to see that happen, and sometimes I thought John Hunter was the one that spun him for a little bit, so I was like, mad John Hunter. Then I realized John Hunter didn't do anything but help them, and then it was just a bad deal. I just feel like that I think Blaney just came up. It was door to door. You're coming to a speedway race. You're trying to win, and you're throwing each other. So I think he just hit them, and I think John Hunter was helping them out so much, doing such a good job at pushing. I think it just kind of turned them into the wall there. But I think it's just racing. It happens, and these races, like this, everybody says, are so hard to win, and they're the top level. So I think sometimes you got to do what you got to do. But it's always hard. It's always hard to say because it's different footsteps. Like I said, it's you root for your favorite driver. So sometimes it gets frustrating. Like I was a little frustrated, but at that moment you're like, if I was in the driver's footsteps, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna try to win this thing as much as I can. And I have no teammates up there. I'm just by myself.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Got to do what you got to do to get these wins.
Yeah.
But also your other teammate Riley was dominating the that other race. I'm the worst ARCA race in the history of ever. I'm sorry,
Okay.
man. I'm sorry. I gotta say it.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine.
I attended the fall 2018 Talladega race, and I thought that was the worst Talladega race I'd ever seen. Then ARCA 2020 says, "Hold my beer."
Dude, that and here's the thing too, like it's really been a process. Like this has been going on for a while. Like I really noticed it like last year and like in the 2019 ARCA Daytona race, like there was like a lot of single file racing, and I was like, I'm like, what is this like the new normal? Like there doesn't seem to be a lot of chaos anymore, or good racing in a sense, because I mean this race proved it. Only 7 cars on the lead lap at Talladega. Are you kidding me?
Is it a
Probably never
difference
seen that
of, is it a difference of equipment, or what do you think?
I think it's the new bodies that are running in the last couple of years. Like when they switched, I don't know, 2018 or 2019 when they switched. The beginning of 2018 they raced, or 2017 they raced with the old bodies. I think these new bodies from experience. I don't have much experience on racing them, but for practice I tested this year for 2 days straight, and it was very hard to suck up. Like you couldn't make a run, so that's why they're running single file, I believe, because it's so hard to suck up. And plus you have poor Riley's out there by himself with no teammates, working with complete other dudes, and then you have a full team of Venturini when there's 3 of them. It's like it's just weird. It's like all these things that line up. But I feel like if they I think they just maybe need to do something to help them suck up better. Like they just can't suck up. Like I remember that's what I couldn't do in practice. I couldn't even push somebody because I just get to the back and you just stall out.
Wow. It's really bad. You can't even like get a simple draft. It sounds like, wow, that is crazy. I never think it would get that bad.
It's not the drivers running single file. It's just I feel like sometimes it's hard to get runs and push and all that stuff. I mean,
it was pretty obvious. It was obvious.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was obvious. I mean, like we saw Haley Deegan, she was trying to make a move. She went to the outside and then immediately just dropped to the back. Like no one would even work with her because it's like, dude, what's the point? Yeah, it's not worth it. You know what I mean? It's because like nothing's going to happen. We're just going to duck down to the bottom. So we might as well just run here. But man, I watched that race from start to finish and I regretted it. I'm not going to lie. I couldn't believe I watched it there. But like, I want to touch up on the incident though. A lot of people were blaming Riley for that last lap incident. Like, I don't know, like I gotta be honest with you, it didn't really seem to me like it seemed like it was just a 50-50 deal. It's coming to the white flag, he's trying to block him down low, that sort of thing. I don't know. What do you think, Ty?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people blame Riley for stuff that's hard to even say. I feel bad for him sometimes because he's like a big brother of mine, so I'm always like rooting for him and everything. So, but at the end of that, you can kind of go back and watch it. I feel like maybe the 25 was looking in his mirror waiting for his run, and the 15 was pushing the heck out of him too, so he's all over the place. But I feel like Riley didn't do anything wrong there. If you go back and watch, he just ran the bottom, and then the green car came down and ran him and kept running them, and he was on the apron at that point, and somehow it didn't even wreck everybody. So it was just it's just hard. Like I said, you have one guy, poor Riley's working by himself, and then there's a team of 3. They're always going to be better because it's speedway racing. You need to link up and push. And like when they broke out, they could have done that before. So it's hard. Hopefully next year, maybe I could get in there and push Riley to win, and I think we could definitely outrun those guys. So it just sucks, watching somebody you root for get beat like that and then get blamed on something like that. I'm pretty sure you guys know how that feels, but it just sucks, man. I hate seeing those bad comments about Riley because he's a very nice kid, great kid. He's like my big brother of mine, so I always looked up to him, and it sucks to see people treat him like that.
I'll say this. Just speaking from my personal experiences, yes, I mean, as you know, I used to troll back in the day, and I did, I had this tweet go viral talking about, hey, look at this funny lineup here. Like, I don't know about, how they're gonna do. Well, I mean, my words this year because 2 of them have won, and Riley's like running way better. It's nothing personal, at least from my view. It's just, I think people just question, certain drivers with, a certain level of equipment, type deal. It's like, well, if you get this, then, you should be running up front, no problem. I mean, it's not always like that, though. I mean, can you kind of explain, more of what goes into, getting these top level rides and having to perform?
Yeah, it's everybody thinks that if you get in the best team, you're going to win every single race. And it doesn't work like that. And I feel like a lot of people don't know that. And I feel like for the drivers wise, and the drivers have so much pressure on them, because I'm in that situation, and it doesn't bother me because I just luckily grown up to really don't care about stuff like that. But a lot of drivers get really, you get really nervous or really over, their anxiety's up and all this stuff. So I think sometimes it's hard for them to perform because they're all stressed out because these people are making fun of them and this stuff. So I feel like as a driver in that situation, I feel like you just got to put your head down and work. And I feel like people are like, you got to prove these people something. I don't feel like you have to prove anybody, because you're racing cars. This is what you love to do. So if you love doing it, I don't really think you need to prove to anybody that you're good, or I mean, hopefully you're going to be good, but I wouldn't think you have to prove somebody you're going to be good at something you want to do. I feel like I think of that all the time, because I'm like, I'm racing cars and I wouldn't be in a situation if I didn't want to, and you got to work for it. So it's hard for people like that, and I understand it because I'm in that same situation. You just got to go out there and do the best you can, and sometimes your car's not going to be good, and you got to deal with that, and you got to overcome that. But people think if your car's, people don't realize how bad some people's cars set up wise are. So it's hard for people to come back from that. And everybody's so good nowadays that if you're off a little bit, then you're going to be pretty far off on setup wise. So sometimes it could be the driver, sometimes it could be the car, but never blame the car. Always blame yourself. That's what I've learned in life.
Darren, what do you think of the ARCA and the Xfinity races over the weekend? Because I thought as the weekend went on, the races progressively just seemed to pick up and ramp up with more action.
I mean, I think kind of what, to what Ty was saying a little bit, there is a lot of, in both of those series, of people trying to prove their name. And you see a lot of overdriving, and a lot of people are hungry, man. And it's so competitive to get to that next level. And so I think, I'm not trying to put anybody down, but what you see a lot in the ARCA and the Xfinity series is a lot more mistakes. And, it's fine. It's still exciting, but I didn't see anything that blew me away. I thought it was fine. I don't know. It just gets hard. I don't have anybody that I really root for hard in Xfinity. Whereas a lot of the ARCA drivers that I've met everybody's been excellent. So, I think there's so much more pressure when you go up to that next level to Xfinity or trucks. And, you're taking a lot into the car with you as an athlete. Every level that you go up. Do you know what I mean? The pressure just keeps building.
It's serious racing, but in and of itself, it's a development series. So it's doing what it's supposed to do.
But really quick, because with it being Talladega, I do want to shift just a little bit with it. And we have 265 watching right now. So everyone watching, lick that like button.
Click the like button.
But I want to kind of shift.
Don't forget to subscribe.
Yes, do that too. Subscribe to Danny B.
Subscribe to me, all the other three hosts, and make sure you follow these two and listen to Sunday Monday after this.
I won't argue against that. But what I want to ask, since it is Talladega that happened this week, and Daryl, I heard a little bit alluding to it. Either of you guys have any good stories from Talladega Boulevard? Because last time we had someone tell a story about Talladega Boulevard was Randy the plumber, and it was a beautiful story.
That's right.
It was amazing. But any good Talladega infield stories that won't get anyone in legal trouble?
I don't know any of those ones. I host the big one on the Boulevard. So I host. There's a huge parade for people that don't know that takes place on Friday night in the spring and the fall. So I'm the host for that parade. And it's pretty cool because the drivers get to come out, and most of the time they don't have anything to do the next day, but maybe practice, if that. So you get to see the Cup drivers. I'm not going to name anybody because I keep getting in trouble for saying too many things. But I will tell you that on Talladega Boulevard, everybody from people that are in the broadcast booth now all the way down to champions have been completely blacked out on Dega Boulevard with the fans. And what's so great about it is everybody just respects it. Nobody has their camera phone out. I mean, big names, even female drivers that are no longer in our sport. I'm talking, everyone's really having a great time and enjoying the festivities.
That kind of helps narrow it down a little bit, but not too much.
No, but I just, Danica was out there one of the times, and like I just remember not the condition that her and her friends were in. It was more that everybody was respecting it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I've seen Dale out there, and everyone's having a great time, but no one is, putting these drivers on blast or making them feel like they can't enjoy it with everybody. And I think that's like the code of Talladega.
That is code. Yeah, that sounds like a code right there. I like that.
I still haven't been to Talladega yet. I'm hoping to this year or next year. One of the two.
Yeah.
I know.
Same. Me too.
He's a northerner.
Unfortunately, but I want to ask because Randy.
We're gonna have to take him back to Daytona too, because he didn't get to go to the 500.
Yeah, I left early too. Yeah.
I saw the Daytona 50. No, I do want to ask though, because I was like kind of living vicariously through Randy the plumber when he was on, which may be a good or bad thing. Is it true that clothes are optional there?
Talladega Boulevard?
Yeah.
Hard question.
Yeah, you'll see nudity. There's
Yeah, I'm just want to verify. I want to verify.
Talladega has its own jail. Like there's a holding cell. Like they're hardcore, man. Like
I didn't know that.
they're the
I
real
didn't know that
deal.
either.
Ty looked
I
very
didn't see that
shocked,
when
and
I was there.
I think Ty.
Yeah.
Ty just kind of got
Not allowed
scared
down there.
So.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Ty, what'd you say?
I said not allowed down there, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Ty's too young.
I forgot. How old are you, Ty? I forgot.
I'm 17.
Oh,
and
yeah,
I'm
see?
18 in October. So I got a couple of years.
October before Talladega or after Talladega?
Yeah, October 4th, week before Charlotte, our old last year's schedule.
Are you looking forward to one day getting to race at places like Talladega, or do you dread the idea of super speedway racing?
Yeah, it's hard. Sometimes you're like when it's like lap 60 out of 200, and you're like, this is boring. They're running single file or running too wide, and they're just not doing anything. But like at the end of the races, I love racing so much. I get caught up into it so much. Like my heart is like in like a driver's seat. Like I feel like my heart races coming to checker flag, and I'm not even out there. I'm trying to enjoy this race, and I'm all stressed out. But I love that feeling so much. I'm like, I just want to go out there and race. I feel like it's just so like from watching it your whole life and then going out there to do it is the coolest like experience. It's just unbelievable. But I would definitely run that.
Do you have a driver you haven't met yet? Like somebody that you would love to sit down with?
Yeah, there's definitely pretty much all of them, but the ones I haven't met. But I really looked up to as a kid, and you're gonna think this is crazy. I really looked up to Lewis Hamilton out of Formula One.
Yeah.
I was a huge fan of him. Like I had his hats, I had his cars are in my room right now. I have hats signed in my room that I love so much. And I got to meet him in Daytona or at Homestead when he came down in 2015. And I remember I was so starstruck. And he was sitting there next to Kyle's car. And I've really being around Cup drivers, I still get pretty starstruck, but like being around him, like I lost my breath. I've never been like that before. And I feel like such a super fan, but it was so cool to meet him. And I just love him, how he is off the track. He's super cool dude. And he's a bad of the bone racer. He's one of the baddest dudes that's probably ever drove one of those things. So I feel like it was really cool to meet him. But I feel like every driver is different. I feel like every driver you can take away something. So I would definitely like to have a lunch or dinner with every driver I haven't met.
Well, who's your Cup driver? Who you pulling for?
I can't choose one. I can't choose one.
Got four. Or seven, I guess. Yeah.
I feel like knowing the last few episodes of Sunday Money, there's a specific one he's hoping to hear.
Oh.
I'm just curious who you're into, man. Whose career are you looking at right now? Saying I want a career like that.
Yeah, I love all of my teammates. I always like my teammates. But I really like I have different relationships with every one of them. I feel like every one of them I take away something good from it. And I really look up to is I like Danny because I love how he is relationship with basketball.
I know it.
The last answer you wanted.
And I like everybody's style, but I like him. I like his Jordan. I think he's just. I like him. I think I just always thought he's been pretty cool. Like I like his style, Jordan shoes. I've always thought that was the coolest thing ever. I'm like, one day I want to have that.
Okay, we get it. You like that?
Hey, I just got to point this out here. We were talking about how Ryan Blaney has been so consistent at Talladega. Well, Denny's also been pretty consistent on super speedways. At the
Denny's
fall,
a really
Yeah.
good speedway. Yeah.
The fall Talladega and Daytona, it was all Newman, Blaney, and Hamlin contending for it. And at the end of this one, Hamlin was in the mix, finished 4th from this one. So
Yeah, and also he's won like 3 out of the past 5 Daytona 500, so he's on a roll, when it comes to that race. But one last question for you, Ty. Talk about your your very young career. I mean, you're really making a name for yourself up down in ARCA. Some of the other series. Talk about that.
Yeah, I surprised myself from running late models. I just didn't do good in those things, and I wasn't really in any I just wasn't in a good deal. So, but once I got to the ARCA car, I've really my talent's better in the heavy, bigger cars like that. And once I got in that, I surprised myself. I almost won my first race, and I was humbled. I was humbled by myself. I never really I never thought I could run that good, and I finally did. And then I started knocking off wins. And this year, I knocked off one a couple weeks ago in a late model race, and I should have won one before that. I got wrecked, but I just surprised myself. It's the best feeling. I try to work as hard as I can, try to stay as more humble as I can, and I just put my head down and work. But I feel like I've done pretty decent to myself. So yeah.
this is a random question for you. I just got to ask it because you'll drive the 18 monster car every now and again. Do you ever get confused for Riley Herbst? Does that happen at all?
Do people ever confuse our cars or who was driving it?
Yeah, or just confuse you both or something?
Not really. Not really.
Not really. It's pretty obvious.
I'm just kind of curious if it happened because I know a lot of people are just very casual and they know that you both were young drivers in the same car practically. I didn't know if it ever happened.
About the same, yeah.
Yeah. No, not yet. It'll probably happen soon though. Probably.
Yeah. The only time I got confused was when we were testing before Phoenix. We tested, checked the cars down, and I drove out behind Riley, and it's the same paint scheme. I never been behind the same paint scheme myself, and it was an out of body experience. So I was like, this is weird.
Yeah, I can see.
It's the ultimate NASCAR video game.
Yeah, you're following the ghost lap.
Yeah, third person view. I was like, what is going on? I'm supposed to be in that car.
Oh man. Well, really quick, guys, your guys on here is kind of is almost coming to an end. So thank you guys so much for coming on the show. Just really quick, where can guys find or where can people find you on social media?
Are you asking me?
Yeah, whoever wants to go first.
Rock, paper, scissors over to
Yeah, rock, paper, scissors. There you go.
Yeah, go on Twitter, man. We can be friends on Twitter, and you can say mean things to me all day. And then you can go listen to Corey LaJoy's podcast. It's called Sunday Money, and I'll probably piss you off there too.
Cool.
It's a fantastic show for sure. Anyone who wants kind of the behind the scenes of what's kind of week to week from the driver.
I heard you being pretty critical of Corey in one of your videos recently.
Oh, come on!
I can't appear impartial.
Are we out of time? Because I heard a whole Eric video where he was like, Corey should do this and Corey should do that.
I think if you go back, I was very fair.
He was fair.
I can't appear too partial. I love Corey. I listen every week to Sunday Money. Highly recommend. I think we have a link to that down in the.
I believe we do. Yeah.
What I think Corey really needs to be doing is this. I was like, okay, Eric.
Hey, they're just suggestions.
All right. We'll go ahead and admit it. Sunday Money is better than NASCAR Weekly Podcast. Okay, are you happy?
There we go. You happy? There we go.
Well, I already knew that.
Admitting that.
Yeah, really quick, Ty, where can people find you on social media?
Yeah, you guys can find me at Ty Gibbs _ on Twitter and Instagram. I'm on there. I don't really post that much. I'm not really that good at social media, so you can definitely come my Instagram there. And I do Instagram lives every once in a while too. Those are pretty interesting. So
that's
you
cool.
guys are about to get a good message, Darian. Ty, there is an 11-year-old with an iPhone out there working harder at their TikTok career.
Oh,
you need to step it up, man. You're living the dream. You need to show people what's going on because it's a really cool opportunity. So
I'm not that good of a dancer. So I stay off that a little bit, but yeah.
That's all good.
Somewhere my 11-year-old cousin is watching and just happy.
Yeah,
just happy right now.
My brother does that. My brother's on that app all the time, dancing around. So.
Get on that TikTok, man. It's 800 million subscribers or something.
Oh,
I'm telling you, TikTok's a time machine. You'll be sitting there, and you're like,
you're on there all day.
Yeah. The first time I got on TikTok, I got home at 10 o'clock. I'm like, I'll just go sit on here for a little bit. And the next thing I know, it's 4 a.m.
Yeah, it's just you're just trapped in it. You're stuck in
What's
it.
crazy about TikTok? You can find literally everything on there. We actually cooked we actually cooked dinner tonight in a crock pot from a recipe we found on TikTok.
Well, I have a lot of questions. I got a lot of questions for all of you, so I'm going to have to come back and visit because I need to.
We'll have you back. We'll have you guys back on. We'll definitely have you guys back on for sure. Yeah, we're out of time all of a sudden now. But anyways, thank you guys so much for coming on. You guys take care.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much.
Definitely invited back in the future.
Yeah,
Definitely.
you guys will be back for sure. All right, thanks guys.
Bye, guys.
See ya.
Later.
See ya.
Wow, that was fun. That was actually the funnest interview we've ever had. Like, time was like freaking going on. It just goes to show, these drivers are just like us. They're personable. I mean, Ty he's only like, 17 years old, and he's like pretty cool.
I was waiting to shout out the amount of viewers, but I didn't want to just yell out, "We're at 269," because we were at that the whole time, and as people in the chat going,
nice. That's what I'm talking about.
I do want to say this though. What I love about Ty Gibbs is he comes across as he's genuinely a racing fan, and that's what we need more of these young drivers. Like, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like every driver has to be a fan at some point, but some of them feel like at some point they just start to see it more of a job, and they kind of lose that passion. I feel like he's going to have that with him.
Yeah. I remember after the ARCA race at Phoenix earlier this year, you remember he dominated that race, had that thing won until a late race caution basically screwed him. I think he finished third at the end of it. And I actually saw him that the next day. He was hanging around the track and talked to him, and he was just super cool about it. He is mature beyond his years, I must say. Like, he understands it's all part of racing. You saw in his post-race interview how emotional he was that he lost that race, but he held it together. The kid's going to go places. I mean, obviously he's related to Joe Gibbs. He's got close ties to a lot of the drivers. He's got a lot of great mentors to look up to, but he's certainly going to go places. He's got a bright future ahead of him. And also appreciate Daryl being on. Both of them really good sports. Yeah. That was a lot of fun.
When Ty said Denny Hamlin, I was just I didn't do anything, but inside I was cheering.
I knew exactly what Daryl was trying to do there.
Yeah,
that's very funny story about Daryl. He's such a good down to earth guy, and I remember at Miami, me and Claudia were on our honeymoon. Well, he's out there doing the ISM vision stuff, and I don't even know if he knew me at this time. He came up to me and Claudia because he saw we had matching shirts at honeymoon and homestead. And he's like, "You two are going to be on the big screen," and I was like, "Okay, cool." And then actually, I guess then after that, he kind of knew who I was. And then he was down in Nashville during the championship stuff, and just talked to him for a long time. I walked right to the stage. He's like, "Hey, Danny." I was like, "Oh yeah, he does know me."
That's cool, man. I mean, it just goes to show that people, inside the sport, they're just regular people like us. They're just they just happen to be in different positions, from time to time and stuff. But I mean, it's cool.
Really quick, but before we get our next guests on, we can just finish up on Talladega, and I'll go through. Pretty actually short lightning round this week.
Yeah.
So really quick, because I wanna point out that the race got a 2.1 rating with 3.356 million viewers, and that is the highest makeup race from a rainout since I think 2014. They said, excluding Daytona 500s, of course.
That is cool. That is cool.
Nice. I like it. We're looking back at numbers that were like comparable to the old. Yeah.
And then pretty soon we're going to look back at numbers from like 07, 06 someday.
Right.
Before we get into the lightning round, there are some more super chats I'd like to give a shout out to. So.
All right. Yeah. And then I'll just do the poll really quick in the lightning round, and we'll be good.
Yep.
All right. So real quick, I'll run through some super chats here. Got $1.99 of a heart coming from Jake Baskinger. We love you, Jake.
Thank you.
Corvette Racing 48, just giving $4.99. Appreciate it. Nothing to say on that. Ashley Tompkins, nice to see you, Ashley Tompkins. That's a new name. I'm not used to seeing that one in the chat. $4.99. She said, Denny coming from 12th to 4th in the last two laps was crazy as heck. I didn't know he came from that far back.
He did.
He did. Here's a good buddy of mine, the Bateman TV guys. If you need a good person to tell you straight about fishing stuff, go check out Bateman. I'm all the time hopping in his live stream, so it's good to see him in here. I gave him like $4.99 the other day. He gives $9.99. Shout out to Danny B. Go Ball.
Bidding war.
Oh boy, I'm gonna have to come in there. $14.99. This next one I earn.
Then just do 4s and 9s back and forth. That's right. That's all.
Let's do that.
Carl Singleton gives $2. Reddick winning would have triggered a kamikaze. Alrighty. Carl Singleton $2. Jarrett knows what this one is. I'm not going to read that one though.
Oh yeah, I know that.
know what it is.
And
Lick
then-
I
it.
know.
And then
Baby.
I can't. We got this weird glitch where the last one I can't even read the message. So I apologize. But Ninemus Prime gave $4.99, so I appreciate that.
I'm trying to scroll up in the chat and see.
Says his
Here it
was
is.
big
Yeah.
fan of Sunday Money, also of Corey and Daryl. Listen to Corey and Daryl bicker at work, turning wrenches. Hope Shoe gets a more competitive ride. So that's sweet. Good to see the Sunday Money, Daryl and Corey support.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, Corey has a lot of support for one of the underdog guys. He really does. So
Now,
he'll be up there soon.
Now, really quick, because I saw some people want it. We're gonna do the poll right here, and then lightning round. Then we'll have our next guest jump in. So the poll this
We
week.
got a busy show, so.
Yeah, I know. I'm like looking at it, I'm like, dang. I asked, what did you think of the 2020 Geico 500? 7,000 of you voted, so we just barely missed the record of 7.2K that we got in 4 days. Granted, we got this in less than 48 hours. So you guys are all stepping up your game.
I think that was on track to be the better one, so.
Oh, yeah. I think by the end of this show, because I noticed we always get about 500, 600 votes after the show for some reason. But 78% of you thought that this was a great race. 14% of you thought it was good. 4% thought average, 1% thought below average, and 2% thought it was bad. I usually have smart-ass things to say, but not today. So that means 3% of you had a net negative reception of this race. That also means that 92% of you, nearly an all-time high, doesn't beat last year's Talladega Fall race, though. 92% of you had a net positive review of this race, and then 4% of you are in the middle of the seesaw.
I mean, like I said, man, the package. I mean, I think they had it. I think they have it perfectly right now for these super speedways, man.
Between the speed and the fact that you can still get those runs and everything, they hit it perfect.
Oh, and also, I'm sorry, I just want to add this really quick. Just because there wasn't a big one doesn't mean it wasn't a bad race.
I want to
Come
put
on.
this
big
out
one at
there.
the end.
After,
Wait, what?
Yeah, around finished there was.
That was considered a big one. I don't know.
Almirola finished third going backwards.
Oh,
I don't think that's a big one.
I wish Almirola would have been sent with a little bit more momentum and would have stole that one in reverse.
I don't know, Eric. Is that a big one? Is that considered a big one?
I'd call it a medium-sized one.
A mid one. I'll call it a mid one.
I mean, the one before it on the white flag lap, there's 4 or 5 cars involved.
Yeah.
Yeah, there wasn't like the 15 car pile up this week.
I assume a big one has like maybe 8, 9, 10 cars.
I think you need at least 8 to be at least sideways in some capacity. You don't need 8 to be destroyed. Just
You know what though? What there wasn't?
What?
No flips.
There was no flips. Thank
I will
God.
say this.
Mission accomplished.
After attending Daytona, I'm fine never seeing another car go in the air.
Oh, dude, remember the time Majeski flip? Remember?
That's
We were
good.
so scared.
No, but that's just like no flips, ladies and gentlemen. We got him. Anyway, the poll here. What you guys had to say. TDP 2612 said lots of overtaking. Shame about Jimmy, but until then, there was like 10 different drivers that could have won. Yeah, at the end there.
Yeah.
Caleb says Jimmy has a real good shot at winning this race. Kevin Harvick, I'm about to end this whole man's career. Let's see. East Coast Trucking and Spotting said what Blaney did at the end was incredible. There you go, Kyle Petty. Well, I found your burner account.
There you go.
I'm gonna scroll down a little bit. I'm trying to find people that don't usually shout out on these things. Jordan Harlow said Penske drivers are absolute weapons.
They really are. Every single one of them has won at Talladega at least 2 times now.
Hey, everybody, Blue Jimmy 48 fan says this race made me laugh, cry, scream, cheer, and rage all in the same day. A remote was thrown and destroyed as well.
Oh no, Jimmy! No, don't do that.
I've been there.
This is such a rough year for me. You can't even really get
Jeez.
to me.
Well, the thing is, he's got the speed. That's what's like. The
Jimmy does have the speed. Yeah.
Let's see. Man on the internet said this finish had me crying of joy. Well, good. There were more tears
Beautiful.
shed. NASCAR 48 fan says somehow Eric Almirola finished third while he said it's supposed to be third while spinning, but it says 3th. So third while spinning. So let's see. Oh my gosh, these are funny. I don't know which ones I can and can't read though. I don't pre-read these people, so it's all live.
We do it live.
Country of Austin said that I could hear corn dog in my head as they went down the front stretch. Chris Hansen said, have you ever?
Chris Hansen, have a seat, bro. Chris Hansen always shows up in everyone's chats, bro. He's just making sure everybody's like good, I guess.
Judson Racing Network says, I peed myself when that happened. I don't know what happened, but if it's the race itself, that would probably be a very uncomfortable seat.
Yeah.
I'm going to scroll down a bit because we have over 400 comments to go through here. There's a lot of people just 9s and 10s out of 10s. It seems like overall most people are
they're in agreement that they're in agreement this race was awesome. It was an awesome display of racing out there.
How many comments are there?
The line, it's the poll. It's your poll. It's your famous iceberg poll.
I went through it before the show and more popped up.
You just said you don't pre-read these.
I don't pre-read them, but I open up the pages.
Ooh, we got him.
There's a loophole.
There's a loophole there.
I'm trying to find the last comment.
Trying to find the last comment, guys. It's just there's so many comments. Okay.
Crash B Fan 65 says, congrats to Stenhouse on his 3rd win. Blaney had to wreck Jones to win. Sauter got black flag for pushing Herbst below the yellow last year, while Blaney literally wrecks the field and gets no penalty. Okay, he didn't have any contact with Eric Almirola. They showed the review. There was no contact. That was just air. And I don't think he knew that John Hunter Nemechek was above Eric Jones. So.
Look, listen. I mean,
thank you for voting on the poll.
It's coming to the last lap, guys. Stuff happens. Stuff happens, man.
So really quick,
you think about a minute ago, Ty Gibbs said that he would maybe be pushing Riley Herbst to win. Oh, he might be pushing, but who knows what's going to happen when he actually sees that finish line.
No. He's going to push him straight into the wall and win the race himself. That's what's going to happen.
All right. But really quick, we don't have much with the lightning round, but I think that we can get something in here a little bit.
Hey, the lightning round on the NASCAR weekly podcast. Let's go, Jarrett. What do we have on tap?
Spire is holding polls on Twitter. More polls to decide their all-star race scheme for Justin Haley. He will be driving for the team. And they do have the numbers moved back. I'll admit they don't look as bad as I thought they would, but I still prefer the old.
No. What are you said? It's a poll for the paint scheme, correct?
Yes, you can choose which paint scheme they'll run in the All-Star race.
They actually didn't look that bad at Freedom of Eagles paint scheme.
Oh, okay. So it's not just going to be blank. Okay, that's good.
No.
That's good.
Yeah, no, it didn't look bad. I'm kind of curious because Justin Haley ran really well in Bristol in the Xfinity Series, and even though it's Inspire equipment, I bet he could do halfway.
Bristol's really it's a great equalizer, but I mean Spire though. I mean I'm not sure that they have the capabilities to really run up front. I really think though
maybe I don't know. Maybe they can work Ganassi to get him halfway.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Just get a little alliance going there, perhaps.
Now. I like to shout out when our friends do well, and in the lightning round, we have that option now today. Ryan Vargas is to drive JD Motorsports number 15 car, sponsored by Cranio Care Bears, starting at Pocono. So good luck, Ryan. We'll be watching.
Good luck, Ryan, man.
He's really excited about it. We're in a chat together.
He's been working on this deal for months, man. He's been trying to put this whole thing together.
He's been fighting it so hard to not tell us, and then when he finally could, I could tell he was happy.
Yeah, he just burst out in just happiness, man. It was awesome. So amidst all of the chaos that was going on that day, I mean, that was cool to see him get that opportunity.
This one might split the chat up a little bit. Democratic President candidate Joe Biden has actually bought ad time for NASCAR races this year leading up to the election. So we're going to see more commercials. It's
election year. It's election year. So to each his own, man.
All I'm going to say is someone paid for that stupid airplane, and that's their money to spend it however they want. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, exactly. This is America. You can buy whatever you want. So, yeah.
Doesn't mean it's going to be tucking well, though. So.
Bubba is actually the Twitter banner and part of the profile pic for the official Twitter sports account with 15 million followers. So they're sending Bubba.
That's cool.
So awesome. And then clothing based on and with the Confederate flag on it will be banned. This also includes the Mississippi state flag?
Mississippi flag. Yep, Mississippi state flag, which Tommy Joe Martins has taken off of his car officially. So that's out of point to him.
as has Ricky Stenhouse Jr.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then I'm sorry, this last one I had to save best for last. Ward Burton is a snake on the floor, and it's the greatest thing you'll ever see,
Dude.
He's like, you can tell this thing is. And then I'm talking more clearly, and sitting there like wanting to bite him. He's like, you guys can see he's a little.
Yeah, you can see it. Yeah, he just doesn't care.
Aggressive. I'm just like, I want to see like a 2020 Twitter/TikTok version of Ward Burton as the crocodile hunter, because
I'll tell you,
greatest show ever. He'd be like talking just randomly about a snake and sitting there curling up ready to bite, and he's just like, I have something I could have shot through you right there.
Dude, I want to see him in the booth. I know I'll barely be able to understand him, but dude, I need to see him in the booth, man. He needs to be up there with his brother, dude. That's gonna be fun.
I'm down. I don't know if they are.
I like Jarrett's idea. I want to see him, this Ward Burton outdoor adventure guy, but it's sponsored by Caterpillar, and he gets to drive a Caterpillar bulldozer everywhere.
Yeah, like isn't there a whole channel that's dedicated to like outdoorsy stuff and all that?
I just love the chat.
Several.
Yeah, there's like several, so somebody can pick him up.
I love looking at the chat, and all it is Ward Burton.
Ward Burton.
I love it.
Ward Burton.
I would say I don't often want people to just put the same thing, but this is pretty damn funny. So that's the lightning round. Darian, break your mic.
Once again, we're done with the lightning round on the NASCAR Weekly Podcast. Let's get back to the show.
All right. Well, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and tell our next two guests they can go ahead and make the request to come on in.
Nice. So we got 266 people watching, over 150 likes. Make sure to lick the like button, guys, before our guests come in. Let's get to 150 before they come in. And 152. So yeah, good job. We only needed like
154.
Yeah.
Let's get up to 200.
Just basically keep it up. But what's on topic next that we're gonna discuss?
Well, we have 3 things to go over on here, and all of them are serious topics. So
no.
There's one about the SHR shop employees that tested positive for COVID.
Yeah.
There is Tony Stewart wanting to hire Kyle Larson.
Mm-hmm.
And there is Netflix completely botching the promotion of the documentary about Billy T. Ribs.
Yeah.
So pick the poison, people.
I'll start with the Larson one. I'll take that head on right now. You know what I mean?
Apply directly to the forehead.
Yeah. So there was some news today coming out from Adam Stern, and this was an Adam Stern moment. It wasn't no Adam Slern BS here. This was real. So
that still exists.
It does, and I love it. I love Adam Slern, man. He's the man. So anyways, Adam Stern basically reported that Stewart is interested in signing Larson. It's a possibility. Now, I do want to point out, a couple of facts here. The 14 ride, Boyer, I believe, is in a contract year this year. Might be looking to retire. He isn't running as well as he used to. And the towing company that sponsors that ride is partly owned by Tony Stewart himself. So I'm just saying.
I did not know that.
So basically, Stewart has, basically his own funding that funds, I think, around 3/4 of the season. So if Larson does come, he would have to basically either, get more sponsorship for that ride, or in the meantime, Haas would probably take over and maybe they might just, sponsor all of them. Now, again, these are just rumors going around. This is what Stewart said on a podcast today. Talking about like, hey, I'm interested in. There was a lot of people debating on whether he deserves a second chance, and I'll be the first to say this is America. America is built on the foundation of second chances. People, deserve a second chance. I wouldn't say everyone, depending on what type of crime you've done, but I feel like most people in this country are worthy of a second chance in this, of making a living. Larson,
I will say this: I've seen. Over the last few weeks, everything going on, I've seen far worse comments from other people than what Larson did.
Here's my take on that, and I don't think I really said it like this. I had an honest conversation with my roommate. Some of y'all know him as White Flags Matter. His real name is Matt, so that's not his his official name. But basically, I had an honest conversation with him, and what he said was obviously it was wrong. It was he shouldn't have said it, and he basically deserved everything he got from it. To me, I don't think Larson had any bad intentions of saying that, vile word. there's no excuse for what he did, but not everything is all black and white. To me, Kyle Larson is a dumbass, not a racist, if that makes sense. He's a dumbass for saying that vile word too. Okay. I feel like he was probably in this whole edgy, this whole, well, let me be edgy here. Let me see if anybody can hear me. And he said it at the exact time that everyone was watching and listening. So that's the depth. So that is just stupid. And he deserved everything he got from that. I asked this a couple weeks ago before all this stuff went down. Like, what is he doing, during this whole chaos? Turns out he's been working with a foundation. And apparently, according to the Instagram post, these date back to around early to mid-May before all this went down. And he deleted all social media. I don't think he's seeking attention. It just doesn't come off as attention seeking to me. And the reason being is because, deleted social media. He's not out there like, hey, look at me, I'm doing this. How many people do we see mess up? Like, for example, Drew Brees here, okay? And no disrespect to him. He has his own opinions. But Drew Brees, after getting some backlash, kind of retracts his statements and then doubles down and is like, yeah, this, and that. I expected that from Larson, but Larson took the other route. He's like, no, I'll just kind of benefit the community in a way that is beneficial, to me personally and to the community. And, I don't need any attention. And I like that. I can respect a man for doing that. You know what I mean? And I can also respect somebody trying to still make a living, during this whole time. And, even after all that, just dominating on the dirt tracks. But just because he wins races doesn't necessarily mean he is worthy of, getting back in the Cup Series. I really feel, in conclusion, if he keeps this up, if he keeps showing that he's changed, if he realizes, if he truly realizes what he's done, then, I am for Larson coming in, but forgive, but don't forget here. It's still, for me personally, it's going to take some time to really, to earn his full trust again. It's going to take quite a while for me and other fans who are people of color as well. And remember who we hurt the most in all this was his own family, his 2 young kids, his wife too. So, I respect the guy for, he's still trying to make a living and he's trying to make amends. So good luck to him.
Yeah. And you mentioned a second ago some of the charity work he's done and the fact that he has deleted all his social media. He himself has not been publishing it, trying to get the spotlight. I think that does speak to Larson's character and at least his efforts to make amends and do so in a way with integrity. Also, there were reports that he was at George Floyd's actual memorial service or his funeral. One of those things. He was actually there, likely part of whatever organization he's with. I'm assuming, but all that's. I think that's important stuff. I think we all talked about it the week after. He had kind of everything happen and he kind of was booted from the sport. We all kind of talked about how if he can prove that he's growing from this, that he understands what he did was wrong and he's clearly making an effort to make amends, then I think all of us on the panel here agree that he should hopefully get a second chance in NASCAR. And I think a lot of us look to Tony Stewart knowing that he's likely going to have at least one car open probably in the offseason this year as the likely landing place for Larson in 2021. So hearing this news kind of just confirms what everyone was sort of guessing. Everyone was sort of just assuming Tony Stewart, who, Tony Stewart and Gene Haas collectively over there have taken chances on guys like Kurt Busch before. So it's not shocking that they would be the ones interested perhaps in Kyle Larson going forward.
We're sideways there a little bit, Crystal.
I've never seen anyone come in sideways.
Can you hear us?
She's trying to figure out the sound.
Yeah, y'all know it's almost there.
Good background.
Yeah,
cool.
She is an expert on her background. I will give her that.
Now she's going.
Mine's too dark.
Well, and then really quick, just to keep going off of what you're saying, Eric, SHR in a way has almost been sort of like an island of misfit toys. Like you look at Kurt Busch going over there, you look at Kevin Harvick going over there. And Kyle Larson would fit right into that mix, Tony Stewart, after all the stuff, that he's had through his career. So it wouldn't surprise me at all. He seems like a fit driver wise, especially with loving to dirt race. And we had even said it even before everything happened. If he's going to go anywhere that's not CGR, it's going to be SHR. So.
Yeah, probably. Hi, Crystal.
Welcome to the show.
Hi.
All right. So,
how's it going?
God, sorry if it's a little weird. I haven't used Zoom except for like maybe once. So.
Yeah.
Oh, it's all good.
So allow me to introduce Crystal to everybody here. Crystal is my wife's cousin, but she found out just kind of really got to know her within the last year and found out she's as much of a NASCAR fan as me and Claudia are, and now she's very much aspiring to kind of do what we're doing here, and she's started up a YouTube channel of her own. She's starting to put some stuff out there. What is it called, Crystal? Let us know now.
I believe I have it on YouTube as superfan.tv. Originally, I just wanted it to be on Instagram because it was just mainly like practice. But you're the one that suggested to take it over to YouTube, so you can find it at superfan.tv.
Yeah, no, Instagram, YouTube's where it's at.
I think Instagram just kind of kept me safe. Like I could just do things without people like really knowing and seeing all my like mess ups. But at this point,
no,
honestly,
this is the exact
I feel like
opposite.
that's what I need people to see.
So the biggest reason we brought Crystal in here is because we're still waiting on our other guest to come in here, but she knows and loves Mr. Tig, crew member with Chip Ganassi Racing, and he was a former Tennessee Titan. I didn't even know that until just recently, but we're waiting to hear.
Is that why you put that hat back there just now?
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that either.
Someone
Sneaky,
noticed
Danny.
But
Did he play against the Vikings? That's what I want to know. I want to know how the Vikings are like stack up to an actual player.
Only he can actually answer that.
Yeah, just waiting on him to get here. I've told him go ahead and come on in, but just waiting to hear back.
No, but in the meantime, what were we talking about? Oh, yeah, Kyle Larson, that's right.
Yeah, so, Crystal, we were talking about Tony Stewart has talked about he wants to hire Kyle Larson if sponsorship is available. So, like, what are your thoughts on that just coming in? We like to throw our guests straight into the fire as soon as we get in.
I honestly think that's very interesting because he said if sponsorship is available. So is that coming from like basically him funding it through his sponsorship, or are you talking about like outside sponsors?
So basically 3/4 of the 14 ride is already funded by Stewart's towing company, or he at least has a part in that company, or at least a say of some sorts. And then I think about a third of the rest of the races still need to be funded. So it might come from Haas, it might come from Larson. We don't know.
I honestly think it's possible. And this is just going based off of like the support I even saw like after he was dropped. I think there is going to be somebody that's going to come in with some money that's going to want to put that towards his ride. And I don't see a problem with it. I don't think that it's going to happen right away though.
No, we'll see. I mean, I don't know. I mean, like Tony Stewart was very adamant today about like, oh, I want to hire him. So yeah, he said it today. Exactly. So like, I don't know.
I thought this was just like a discussion.
Yeah, no. But I mean, like he basically said it today. And like, I mean, it's, and even Kyle Larson in some, I can't remember the name, but in a pot. Oh, and look who's here.
There he is.
Hey, there we go. Forget what I was talking about. It's, what's his name? Tig? Is that what it is?
That's what we know.
Tig. How do I see all of you at the same time?
Hey, what's up, Tig? Can you hear us? Oh, he's muted. He's muted right now.
Let me see.
He's muted.
Sometimes if the host, yeah. Is it good now?
Is it good? Can you hear us, Tig? He's still muted. He's still muted, man. Yeah, we still can't hear him, so we got to make sure his audio is fixed. But in the meantime, while he gets that fixed, but yeah, Tony Stewart was very adamant about that. And like I said, I mean, I if he continues to show that he's changed, and that this isn't just some sort of stunt, that he's just pulling, trying to get some sort of sympathy and stuff, then I do feel like Beasley is worthy of a second chance. Now, when that'll be, I don't know. But like I said, I mean, I'm basically indifferent. Like, I mean, it's going to take me a really long time to fully earn, my trust back at least. But I mean, I still think he just, deserves to make a living for his family, which he screwed the most, by the way. We have to remember his family was the ones who were hurt the most by his actions.
Absolutely. And on top of that, I mean, he's been doing really well in the sprint series. Like, he's been winning back to back to back. So I feel like when it comes to his career, I feel like there has to be a next step. Like, he can't just be doing that forever. Otherwise, I mean, what else is he going to do?
Nah, exactly.
Is it working now?
I think it is.
All right, Tig. Is it working now? Tig?
Yeah, it's working.
Wait, I think I hear him.
It's working a little bit. It's working a little bit, man. See, we're close. We're close, man.
We're really close.
Yeah, we heard a little bit of him. Don't worry, guys. We'll get Tig talking in a few here.
How do I get to the gallery view? Because I see whoever's talking.
On the top. On the top, it should say speaker view. And then if you just, or gallery view or one of the two, if you just click on that, it usually goes to the other one.
Yeah.
On an iPhone?
I don't know about iPhone, but
with the iPhone, you just swipe over.
Just swipe it.
Yeah.
Oh! All right, I'm learning.
See, first time on Zoom for a lot of these people. Yeah, for sure.
All right,
Tick,
so
one thing that might work, see if dropping out and then coming back in, and then I'll let you right back in, and sometimes
we have these little audio issues with people.
Yeah. So you want him to drop out really quick?
Yeah, and then I'll let him back in.
Okay. All right. Cool.
The beauties of doing a live show.
Yeah, and there's a lot of these people, it's their first time on Zoom actually too. So
Crystal, you're scared of messing up. Look at us.
Yeah, exactly. we just roll with it. We don't really care. We don't really care
these
anymore.
little mess ups are fine, but I mean, just imagine I still don't think I can actually get the words. No, I'm not even gonna try. Start series, I can't get the whole thing out, and I have this huge issue with it, and I have to constantly record myself over and over saying it so I get more comfortable with it.
Well,
you guys don't want to know how long an Out of the Groove takes for me to film. It'll be an hour cut down to about 15 minutes.
That's I haven't really addressed it. That's kind of why I had to drop DannyBTalks a minute. It was taking way too much time, and I wasn't getting to focus on the stuff I really like doing.
Right, exactly. So I guess what are your guys' thoughts on the whole Larson deal? Eric, did you already say what your thoughts were?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of just said earlier, it seems like he's making an effort and he's showing some form of integrity to show the world that he's grown and learned. And he knows that what he did and what he said was wrong, and he's owned up to it to an extent. Obviously, he's still super duper talented. And we were kind of talking about it a minute ago. Tony Stewart, Gene Haas, that team have been known in the past to kind of, we mentioned Kurt Busch most notably, to kind of take a chance on good drivers that maybe have had, outstanding circumstances kind of interrupt their careers in some way, shape, or form. So I wouldn't be shocked to see Larson in a Stewart-Haas car next year. I do wonder if this weekend and just the general political climate that exists now that didn't quite exist when Larson was booed from the sport. I do wonder if that's going to cause sponsors to be more wary to jump in with somebody like Larson, and if it's going to all come out of Tony Stewart or Gene Haas's pocket, that might change things. I don't know. I don't know where everybody else is at. I don't know where the rest of I don't know where the people with money, the companies who have the money, I just don't know where they're at and what they're going to want to take a risk on. Because you guys said before, I guess we had our guests get in here, but Darian said, what Larson did really just proved that he's dumb, that he's pretty stupid, or he's capable of doing stupid things. Yeah. And so I don't know what sponsors trust him again. I don't know.
But I think we all are, because we've said at the beginning of the show, we all messed up on jumping the gun early and what happened. So
I will say I've never done what Larson did, but
no.
It's different. We're all capable of making mistakes. So
we're all different and capable. Yeah, some bigger than others, and his was really huge. But look, it'll be back.
But I will say this: like I said earlier, I've seen far worse stuff said from those like Dustin Skinner, for that matter. That was terrible.
That was awful, and we'll talk about that later. But I guess we can move on now. What's next?
Well, real quick, Danny, can you check just to make sure that he's good? Because sometimes you might have to resend the link.
Yeah.
Okay.
But moving on really quick, I guess we talk about the SHR shop employees that tested positive for COVID. We're just having a bunch of rainbows and sunshine here.
Mm-hmm.
So like that one. I saw some people go like, season's over right away with this. But from what it sounded like, it was guys at the shop. It wasn't the road crew at all. Yes, they probably had contact with one another. Okay, here it comes. So I guess what are you guys' thoughts on that whole deal there?
Well, I mean, it was a bit overblown at first. Like, I mean, if people actually read the article when it was posted, I mean, basically it was, they had they never go to the track ever. It was more of a, this whole situation of them catching it was more of a team thing, I guess. I'm not sure how they caught it, or they might have caught it, off of work. I mean, we just don't know yet, And they did the right thing though, just sanitizing the place, that sort of thing.
Well, I think Tig may be the best person for us to ask about this. Tig, you're just not getting in here. We're talking about what happened with Stewart-Haas Racing and how there was a couple members of them who contracted COVID. You being someone who's part of the road crew to go out to the races and stuff, obviously you're a different team. You're with Chip Ganassi Racing. How often would you say that you guys would interact and be close to people that are within the shop area throughout the week that may be a concern, or is it a concern at all?
Well, first of all, let me make sure you guys can actually hear me now.
It's a little muffled. It's clear.
It's a little bit muffled, but we can kind of make it work. Just what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts?
It's good now. It's good.
Oh, it's good now. It's good now. It's good now.
I'm
All
good.
right, go ahead.
Okay, I'll take that.
Yeah.
I'll take that. But I mean, first of all, they try to make it so that we never, as in being like in the pit crew, that way that pretty much we never ever see the shop guys unless they're like road crew or whatnot. But pretty much the guys that works like in the fab shop, even like for us, like the guys that works in the parts shop, we never see them, not unless we need something important, and then we go like pretty much to the door outside, knock on the door, and then stand at the door while they get us whatever we need or whatnot. And that pretty much just keeps everybody from pretty much coming into contact with one another. That way, if somebody did get it, that was like at the shop, it wouldn't come towards the pit crew wise or come towards the road crew wise. So they try to keep us separated.
Okay. It's good to know.
And that's why, like, because as soon as the news broke, like, we have this like chat set up with a bunch of the YouTubers, and like half of them are like, "Oh, season's over."
Yeah, let's
I'm
call
like, "Oh, it's hold on. There's a
wait.
reason. The reason they didn't say they were specific about where they worked and stuff. So like that's good to know, because how has the COVID policies really been changing up how you guys go about things every week?
It's been pretty crazy. I mean, even like getting into the track, like there's like 3 or 4 check-ins that we got to go through just to get into the track. It's like the NASCAR check-in where, like, say they pretty much check our hard cars. Then it's like a COVID check-in, and then you got to have like a sticker from them that pretty much says, you did your temperature check and you pretty much clear it out or whatnot. You clear. And then we got to do pretty much there is another check where another person comes by and check that actual sticker or whatnot. And then the day before the race, NASCAR Medical sends out a text message where you got to do like not really a waiver form, but just a form that got like a different questions on it or whatnot, just to try to help you, see if anybody, got, a bad call for just anything really, just see if pretty much anything changed. So we got to answer that and have it sent in by like 5 o'clock the day before the race.
Now, Tig, to ask a quick question here, your journey as a NASCAR pit crewman has been a very interesting one. Want to talk to us about it?
Yeah, sure. Why not? Of course.
I think this is probably one of the roles that we as fans don't get to hear enough about. And
yeah.
Obviously, I'm a Tennessee Titans fan, and only the other day found out you played for them. So, I mean, I'm kind of curious how that came to be.
Oh man, so I mean, just a little bit about me. I'm from a town called Laura, South Carolina, which is like 15 minutes from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and played football. Well, actually played all sports in high school: football, wrestling, and track. 4-time state champion in wrestling, All-American in football. Always loved football, so ended up getting a scholarship to go play at Clemson. Played there. Under Coach Dabo Sweeney, as well as Coach Tommy Bauer, and then I guess I did pretty well there. Ended up going undrafted to the Titans. Actually, I was a little bit upset because I got my call, for them like 2 minutes after the draft when the draft people had me going in like the 3rd and 4th round. So that was a little bit heartbreaking to not, go after you've been, said you're going to go here. So like pretty much I played with the Titans for 2 years, and I loved it, man. I tell you, I wouldn't take anything for it. I love Nashville. I love that whole city, the players there and everything. Well, there's probably maybe like 2 or 3 players that are still there now that I actually played with. But pretty much everybody else is done. Moved on and whatnot.
You're gonna have to get some of those guys out to Nashville Super Speedway next year.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure. Yeah,
exactly.
for sure, man.
And like pretty much like say once I heard like we were going to Nashville, I'm like, oh heck yeah, we're gonna have some fun in Nashville. Right. I'm gonna start making some calls. We're gonna have some fun in Nashville right now. Cause like I haven't been back since I left, and that's been 2014. So I'm like, yeah, man, it's definitely past due for me to go back.
Definitely.
I want to ask really quick. I was like talking about this before you came on. Did you play my Minnesota Vikings at any point?
Yeah. Well, we played them preseason. I actually have pictures of me forcing a fumble against them. So
yeah. There you go.
I'm sure Jared would love to see that one.
Who was the ball carrier? Because I know Peterson fumbled a lot.
No, it was a tight end. It was a I remember the play, but I don't remember who was in it.
I'm trying to think.
Who was in. But it was a short tight end, just a little dunk down or whatnot, and I just came down here and just. I'm trying
to think because I know Rudy was on the team that year, but I don't know if it was him or like what is it, Rudolph or no?
You know, it's probably a backup tight end, perhaps. Maybe.
I'm like sitting here like trying to figure this out now. The way that Danny's a mega Titans fan, I'm the same way with the Vikings. So like,
and I don't know if you noticed or not. Ordinarily, I've got some die-cast cards back here. I had to change it up just for you.
Yeah,
I like it. I appreciate it.
Now,
even though I do love die-cast cards as well.
Yeah, that's cool.
I gotta ask this for you though, because like you work for Chip Ganassi Racing, but some people may not realize just because that's who you work for, that's not who you pit crew for. Care to explain on that?
Yeah. So over at Chip Ganassi Racing, we have house cars. So we have 2 house cars, which is the 1 and the 42, but we also have 4 full pit crews. So say anybody go down, then you gotta have somebody that is able to step up into that role because the pits are very, very important, which everyone knows. But so I'm on the 3rd pit crew over at Chip Ganassi Racing, and just looking forward for pretty much the next year. Really, supposed to move up to one of the house cars for next year. So. Just grinding out everything and just learning. This is my fourth full year in NASCAR as a sport. So I mean, most people think I'm way ahead of where I need to be and whatnot. So I love it, man. But like I was saying, so I'm on the 00 with Quinn Hoff. Which is
Hoof, whatever his name is.
Half. I learned it. It's half.
Half. I don't know. I always confuse them. Trust me, it's all good.
Starcom.
Yep. Oh, we good old Starcom Racing, and man, great guys. Hands down, the crew is nice. Everybody works really hard. It just don't really have the fun that most of the big name teams have. To actually put the car into a decent spot on the track.
Our buddy Michael's a huge Starcom fan, so
yeah, buddy, yeah.
How do that happen? Like how do you be like, I'm a Starcom racing fan?
It's just like the underdogs, pretty much. Yeah, I'm the same way as well. A lot of fans do.
Well, I've seen some people that were Landon Castle fans that just started liking Starcom after that. But now you talk about on the Cup Series side of things, you're with a team that's it's there. But now down in the Truck Series though, well, you work with a pretty good team over there. You want to tell us about that one?
Yeah. So in my truck deal, so I work for Hattori Racing Enterprise, which is the 16 truck with Austin Hill, and so once again another down to earth crew that works hard, that actually puts great products on the track, and Austin drives the heck out of them. And it's amazing, being in a position where like whenever that truck comes off of the truck is pretty much in a position to win. And like say for that team to work so hard, it's just amazing to all the things that like they are pretty much able to do. To come from Motte to just get Austin in the truck and still win. Where Austin never driven a truck. So it's been unbelievable the things that like they have been able to do.
Yeah, I definitely have been surprised last year of how strong Austin Hill did. That reflects on both his talent and just the true capabilities of a Hattori now, thanks to specifically their run with Brett Moffitt a couple years ago. But I want to ask this just because the whole reason I met you down in Miami, and the whole reason was that my wife's cousin Crystal here, she said, "Oh my gosh, if you're down in Miami, you have to go meet Tig." And so I was like, "Okay, send me a picture of him." She did. You were with the 34 team of Michael McDowell last year, and I went through. I was kind of on the pit road area before the race started, and I was just like looking all at the fire series, like, "Oh, I think that's him over there." And so we come up and met you. So I got to ask, like, so how did you and Crystal become buddies here to connect us all together?
It's kind of a not really a strange story, but whenever like I'm on pit road or anything, and I see a person, I try to make it my sense, just to speak, say hello or whatnot. So we were in Phoenix, and she was talking to a good friend of mine who was a truck driver for NASCAR. So, I just, like I said, just made my mind to speak, and I spoke to her and got a name, whatnot, told her who I was or whatnot. And then later on, huh?
He walked up and he just gave me a hug and just kept going.
Is that nowhere?
Go on.
No, so then probably like later on before the race start, I saw her, she was walking by herself or whatnot. And just say, "Hey, Crystal, just how you doing and whatnot." Just and like from then we've been talking ever since. So just making friends ever since.
Yeah, and I kind of just like took him on as like a mentor. Like the time that I was at Phoenix, it was mainly I was there to just observe and learn as much as possible. And he was actually like, I didn't have anybody that was going to stand with me the whole time and tell me all this stuff, but like. He walked me like up to the start finish. I got to sign it for my uncle. He was giving me all the information on all the cars. I got to stand in the pit stall and watch the race from there. And since then we've just been really good friends. But anytime I'm at the racetrack, there's always this thing where I have to look for Tig. And I've made this into this big old fun thing for at least myself. I got it wrong the first few times, pointing from like the grandstands in a picture. You can probably see that on my face. But I've been good at finding you on TV.
That is true, and don't forget, I got you a picture with Jimmy too.
Yes, I'll cherish it forever.
Danny, what do you think, man? I think we got about 13 minutes till we hit the 2-hour mark. What do you think about heading over to picks?
Yeah, let's go to picks now.
So I'll let Crystal and Tig notice. Tig, you working for a team? If you don't want to take part in picks, that's fine. But we always do we do 3 picks for the upcoming races. We do a who's gonna suck pick, and we do an underdog pick, and then we do a winner pick. So
this week, though, we have to pick 2 of each. This week.
That's true.
Yeah, we do. So
who wants to go first?
I'll go first. So who's gonna suck? Let's see. I'm not gonna pick any Ganassi drivers, of course, out of respect. I'll take. Okay, so I guess
Please don't say Starcom either.
Oh yeah, no Starcom either. No. But let me see. Saturday. I mean, there's a Saturday race, and then there's a Sunday race here. So I mean, talking about Pocono, some certain drivers don't do well there, and then there's some drivers who really stick out to me. I guess the who's gonna suck pick for Saturday. This guy's had too much luck recently. His luck's probably bound to run out at some point, perhaps, maybe. One of the Roush Racing guys. I'm probably gonna go with Chris Buescher. I don't know. I just feel they're always due for some sort of a wreck or some sort of mechanical failure over there. They're just not the most consistent team right now. So we'll just wait and see on them. So he's my pick. He's my suck pick for Saturday, and then Sunday. I'll go with Christopher Bell just because his track record just hasn't been great. But I feel like Saturday though he'll have a good run, but Sunday not so much.
I guess I can go.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
I went back because I'm most time the one who looks back at the old numbers. And I looked back at the last 5 races for my dark horse picks and my suck picks for Pocono. And what I did is I just looked at notable teams that usually run up front or are generally, don't run as bad as they finish in these races. And 2 drivers stuck out to me, and I know I'm going to be very unpopular with you, Danny, on one of them.
Oh, here we go.
That's fine. I'm full of agreement there. It's not that good.
My 2 suck picks, based on how their performance has been, is Alex Bowman and Bubba Wallace, who I don't think has finished in the top 20 in any of his Pocono starts so far.
You know what, Jared? I'm actually in full agreement with you. And the reason Bowman isn't good here, so he's going to be my suck pick for one day. And Bubba, unfortunately, he's had all this great momentum going on and everything happened with him. But it's like one of his best tracks. I remember, what was it? Mm-hmm. Was it 2018 or 2018?
It was 2018. 2018 he had that.
He had brake issues in both of those races, didn't he?
Yep, he did.
Yeah, that's right.
Only the second time he just went straight into the wall. The first time he just parked it.
Yeah.
Damn.
Next.
Well,
mine, it's just the top row has already done their picks, and the bottom row is still has to.
Well, I can go then. I guess for my suck pick for the first race, I'll agree Alex Bowman. For Sunday, I'll kind of go out on a limb on that one. I'll go Martin Truex Jr. I don't know. I just feel like Pocono's not really maybe I'm wrong. I guess he's won at Pocono before, hasn't he? Maybe I'm wrong, but I'll go Truex.
Yeah, he has. Yeah, 2015.
Well, Gibbs, I believe, has won the last 5 or 6 Pocono races.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true. All right, Crystal, who are your picks?
I was like, usually I do my homework. Like, I'll have these decisions like by a Friday, but typically that's like after I've like listened.
Jared's
to
the only one who
else.
does homework here, so you're
kind of
fly. I think.
just instantly.
Oh my god. Okay, well now I just have to go with Bowman since there seems to be a popularity with them. Gosh. Maybe I'll just go with Priest.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a safe pick, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's a safe pick. Tig.
Well, to keep it kind of safe. And well, so right now we're doing the pretty much sucky picks. Which I mean, I do agree with you with Alex Bowman. And I want to say on the first time whenever Bubba Wallace parked it, I want to say he missed the gear coming out of third and tore up the transmission, which hopefully that doesn't happen again. But hopefully that's a learning thing.
Yeah.
But I would have to say, man, I really don't think Ryan Newman's gonna do pretty much anything either. So. Those, like I said, those 2 Roush cars haven't really, well, besides this past weekend, but they haven't really been doing too much lately.
Something. Sorry to interrupt picks here. I just never really thought to say this there, and when we were talking about Talladega, I'm not surprised. It seemed like Newman was very more relaxed in this weekend's race. I thought maybe he'd be in contention for the last few races, but I didn't think about it. Yeah, he's probably wanting to take it easy here. Right?
No, not taking any chances anymore. Yeah, for sure. So I guess now we're into the underdog picks. So my underdog pick for Saturday, I said Christopher Bell would do good in the race and then suck Sunday. So yeah, Christopher Bell is my underdog pick for Saturday's race. Sunday, I'll look more into Tig, you pick crew for Quinn, Hoof, or Half, or whatever the hell his name is, so I'll pick him. Hopefully a top 20 finish this week. That's like a win, right?
Hey, a top 20 is a definite win for us.
There we go. So we'll see what happens. Yeah.
Really quick, I want to address what Wayne Montgomery in the chat was asking about the forecast for this weekend. I'm looking at it right here. Friday, 84 and sunny. Saturday, 87 and sunny. Sunday, 85 and sunny with some thunderstorms and spots. So I just wanted to address. It's only 35% chance. So we're already doing better than the last. Yeah, good point. It's NASCAR.
Yeah.
We also got hail in Vegas for Xfinity, so I'm not gonna any chance of rain means that there just might be some rain on that track.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
So my dark horse picks, again, I went back and I looked and I was really surprised. These two drivers actually are consistently in like the top 7 to 8 consistently, and in the top 5 a lot, even in their rookie years. And my pick for, we'll just say Saturday, is Eric Jones is my underdog pick, or dark horse pick in that one. He's been quietly really fast all year. He's just had bad luck, and he can really capitalize. He might be the 6th or 7th straight Gibbs win. And the other one is someone else who's been behind the rest of his team this year, yet he is very good at this track no matter what team he has behind him. William Byron is my other underdog pick when it comes to the win.
I think my underdog pick is for Saturday. I'm gonna say I think Ty Dillon can have him a good solid day on Saturday. As for Sunday, though, because we'll obviously have an inversion of things, I think depending on what happens Saturday, we could see Ricky Stenhouse Jr. having a pretty decent day. So Ty Dillon and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Those are my underdogs for this weekend.
I like those picks. I like them a lot. I think Chevy will be good this weekend. I like the idea of William Byron. I think he's always good at the big fast tracks like this. I also think Kurt Busch will be a real threat for a top 3, top 5, maybe the win. So I wouldn't be shocked to see that.
I feel like my underdog would be Tyler Reddick. He's just been my favorite for a while. I just really want to see him win. He's been doing quite well. I don't know how he does at Pocono or how he's going to do at Pocono, but that's going to be just one that I jumped.
Did he win at Pocono in the Xfinity?
Last year he pulled off a last lap pass and stole the victory. So yeah,
that's right.
I believe, was that him on Cole Custer? I believe that is what it was. So yeah, he's winner.
I don't know what I'd do for second for Sunday. Somebody else chime in while I think about that one.
Random number generator.
Yeah, just get a number generator. Just do that like last week.
Right?
That's what
God.
Jared did.
I mean, you can just do Reddick for both days.
Yeah, you can just do Reddick for both days if you
Really
want.
believe
There
in
we
Reddick.
go.
Yeah, there we go. All right, Tig.
I think for mine, as in like say underdog, well, as in this, I feel like John Hunter Nemechek is gonna have a great day on Saturday. And then for Sunday, I want to say my man Kurt Busch, of course, to bring home the win. I mean, our cars have been really fast. The past couple of weeks just been crazy luck. But hopefully, we get them up there in the pack, or either Sunday, Saturday, get them up there and then get the whole thing inverted, and then just run away with it. Because it seems like pretty much in Pocono, pretty much whoever is out in front is going to be the person to bring on the win, because the race normally goes long. But it seems like the winner always wins by like half a straightaway or something other. So
yeah, that's why it is not renowned really amongst NASCAR fans at least. I'll just say whenever I see Pocono on the schedule, I just kind of cringe, to be honest with you. But I mean, it's a double Pocono day, so it's all good. So I mean, it's unique.
It's the Band-Aid that we just rip it off once and get it over with.
Yeah, just get it over with. That's what we talked about last year, and we're actually doing it basically. So yeah.
Like I'm so excited that like they're doing it in one weekend now instead of this weekend, then going back 3-4 weekends from now. I'm glad it's all in one weekend. Let's go ahead and get it over with and go somewhere else.
Yeah, somewhere a little bit more funner.
What's funny is it's the first Cup Series consecutive day doubleheader, even though we've actually now, because of everything with the pandemic, we've seen this happen in the Xfinity Series, and we've now had 2 weekends where there were 2 Cup Series dates. So all the hype behind the doubleheader kind of went out the window already. So
yeah, now it's just like, oh man, do we gotta go here? Okay, let's get it over with. So I hope it's exciting, but my gosh, it's just it never is. But yeah.
All right, Darian, you do your intro for the last round of picks here.
Oh, yeah. Who's going to win? We say who's going to win and not win on the NASCAR Weekly podcast. So who's going to win? We're going to have a couple of firsts this weekend. So on Saturday, Tyler Reddick will score his first career Cup Series victory. And then on Sunday, Jimmy Johnson will score his first victory in 3 seasons. He has the speed. I mean, both of these guys have the speed. They just got to put it together, and hopefully Tyler just make it all the way to the start finish line on the last lap there, buddy. You'll be good. But other than that one Homestead incident, I mean, like, he's still got a top 5 anyways. Tyler Reddick's really been showing up. I mean, he was even leading some in this race, and I really thought, like, oh yeah, Tyler might score his first career win. It didn't happen. To me, I think it might happen on Saturday, and then Sunday, I feel like Jimmy Johnson and that entire program will finally put it together and score his 84th or 85th career Cup Series. Yeah, 84th career Cup Series victory. And that will officially – he's already passed Cale Yarborough already, right? Or is he tied? He's tied. Okay, so now he'll officially go past his childhood hero, which I feel like for Johnson, that's like his final goal in the Cup Series is to pass his childhood idol, Cale Yarborough.
I feel like Jimmy Johnson is our sympathy pick every week because at least one of us picks him and it never works out.
Yeah. We'll see if it works out this weekend. We'll see.
Eventually.
Yeah.
My picks.
We've been doing this show for 2.5 years now, and we've just been waiting for the day it finally happens.
Yeah, that's
We're
right.
the reason. No.
Yeah.
My picks. Denny Hamlin.
Both days.
For both?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. All right.
Denny Hamlin. I think he right now is the. He has the most wins, if I'm not mistaken, this season in the Cup Series. He's been fast everywhere he goes, and I think that he's going to make a statement this weekend when both Pocono races. It's all a matter, I guess, though. At this point, it's just a matter of getting playoff points for him, and I think that team is good enough and quick enough right now that they can do just that.
Jared, me and you are close. We're kind of on the same page here, except I'm saying this guy needs to catch up. Kyle Busch is going to win both times this weekend.
He hasn't won in how long? It's been a minute. I mean, only 2 Cup Series wins and how many races now?
One Cup Series win since the first Pocono race last year. Granted, it was the race that counted.
That's not up to his standards, though, man. That's not his usual standards.
He's really good. He's been really great at Pocono the last few years, and he needs to catch up. This is
yeah.
He'll get them both.
Well, I agree with you guys. Joe Gibbs Racing will be strong this weekend, I think, for the most part. And Kyle Busch is rocking the fun mini M&M scheme, it looks like, which is a nice
I like that.
style. I think Kyle Busch wins on Saturday. You guys said it earlier, but Joe Gibbs Racing's won like the last half a dozen races at this track. But on Sunday, I'll go with Eric Jones. I think Eric Jones gets the win.
Okay.
I'm just going to throw in somebody different for just the hell of it. Joey Logano.
Hey, yeah.
That's my driver, so I feel like I'm obligated to pick him every week.
That's not a bad pick.
Yeah, not a bad pick at all.
Yeah.
I wonder what his odds are. I might go throw down a bet.
But I think for me, I'm gonna go with Truex because I feel like him and the 18 are always battling. Even though they're like teammates, I feel like it's either both of them are pretty much around each other, always battling the whole time. And most times the 19 always comes out on top. So Truex it is.
So I was thinking, seems like a poke.
Huh?
Well,
Tired?
I am tired. Yes, I am tired. You are right.
Well, I was really quick. I was just thinking, Pocono has been really prone to having just certain teams just dominate for different stretches. Because I think it was from 2012, I want to say, through about 2014, where Hendrick just won all of them. I think it was Gordon, Johnson, Kane, and then Junior
in 2014.
And then there was a brief period where it was like Roush was good, Greg Biffle was good, Kenseth was good.
And the early 2000s, really, that's when we shined.
I remember. Am I the only one who remembers this 2010 when Sam Horner Jr. had a dominating car and something?
Oh no, I remember that. I thought he was going to win that race. I was like, Sam, he's going to finally get a win there.
So it's definitely right now. It's definitely played into JGR's wheelhouse. I'm just I'll ask this last question before we head out. Who of any of the teams out there is the team that could knock JGR off? It just as an overall team could knock them off of the pedestal.
I'll say it first. Penske Racing, all 3 of those cars have won. I mean, Keselowski has scored 2 wins just out of luck, but he was running up front, so you can't really knock him because he was still in prime position to win there. If something happened, so give him props. And then Joey Logano, he's won a few races this year. And then also, I mean, look at Ryan Blaney, man. Like I said at the very beginning of the show, I think he's a championship contender just with the way he's ran. And I mean, even Daryl Motte was on here talking about he's like the most talented driver in NASCAR. I was like, whoa, yeah. I mean, so a lot of people really feel highly about this guy. So I mean, I really think he's the biggest championship threat. I feel like he'll eventually pass Logano, like in terms of performance sometime this year. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, Penske, sure.
I'm gonna go different than you. I say Hendrick because Chase Elliott's shown a lot of speed all year. Bowman has shown a lot of speed, but it's been inconsistent. But if he flares up and does well, then I know that we all picked him as our suck pick. But if he is very inconsistent at Pocono as well, so he could flare up and do well there. Jimmy Johnson, we talked about, has been faster this year. And then William Byron, even though he's been like the fourth car back, he at Pocono is usually faster than the other Hendrick cars. So
I will say this in defense of Bowman, as a Dale Jr. fan for a long time, Pocono was one of those tracks that I never looked forward to going to because I never expected him to do well. And then all of a sudden, 2014, he went out and swept the season there. So you just you never know.
Yeah.
But this also, so for Hendrick, I'm going to agree with that too, because on the engineering side and technology side, they pretty much had an advantage coming into the season and making them with the cars. So I'm kind of on the side of Hendrick.
Yeah, we hadn't really talked about Chase Elliott at all in this podcast. Like I was sitting there thinking about it for a second. Have we said his name? Like for the
Chase? I mean, he's Chase Elliott's Chase Elliott. He'll run well.
Chase, I think, has the overall best car. Hendrick,
yeah.
I won't say Hendrick. I will agree more with Penske altogether. Hendrick, if we're running all mile and a half tracks.
Yeah.
Yep.
well,
And normally the Chevys are fast during the mile and a half tracks as well. Normally all of them are pretty fast, especially if they're running the Hendricks engines.
Oh, and the short tracks. I give them the short tracks too.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
yep, exactly.
We haven't got to one yet, but I might as well say road course because Chase is like a road course king now. So.
Oh yeah, he'll win that automatically.
Well, there was I saw there was something about how the Watkins Glen race might not actually happen because of what Cuomo put into effect today. So they might actually cancel the Watkins Glen race. It's up in the air right now, but it's something that I think it was Bob Pockers reported that is something to look for or not look forward to, but going forward, keep track of.
There you go, Tig. You may not have to work backwards. So.
There you go. Oh man. So that'll do it for this show, right?
I think so. Where can whichever one of you wants to go first, where can people find you outside of here tonight?
Krista.
Go ahead, Tig. Sorry.
No, you first. No, you first.
I said at the beginning when I popped on, but it's us at SuperFanVlogLV on Instagram. And then I would say go on YouTube and search superfan.tv.
And you need some channel art, by the way. That was it's blank right now. I'm just saying. Just get some channel art.
It is so like I've got probably like 3 videos up there, and I haven't really worked with YouTube as much, so I understand it probably doesn't look the best.
No, it's all good. Just it takes time.
She's just getting started. We need some. Well, I think this community could use some good girl influencers too, because we have
absolutely
Sherry. That's all I know of. So and
I agree.
And Dragon, we could use some more. So
Tig, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at 46Tigger. And you can find me on Instagram at Tigger_46.
And I gotta say this for Tig here. I put out a tweet a couple weeks ago, and when I first found him on Twitter, he had like only a little over 100 followers, and now he's blowing up to 500. Something like, did I do this?
Well, no, wait. They also featured him when they were at the Red Flag a couple weeks ago for saving some lives.
Yeah.
Well,
how did we not talk about this before we tell us?
Well, no, I was saying I had another Twitter and I lost. So I had my college. I had my college email on it, so I couldn't recover it. So I had to start a whole new one. So that pretty much messed up my followers and whatnot, but it's all good.
I think they also want to know how you saved some lives.
Oh yeah,
your story.
Who would actually do that? Yeah, man, it's been a crazy day. I was actually on my way to training camp with the Titans, and driving down I-40 or whatnot, and you know, it was me and two other stars, you know, we were going.
You're probably gonna have to repeat this thing. We can't hear it.
You gotta repeat it. We couldn't hear a damn thing you said.
Yeah, something was over the mic.
Take two.
Did you just set your phone down on something? Because that might have been what happened.
Yeah, you had something over the mic, sir. So.
No, probably my finger.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. Now we can hear you. Go ahead.
All right. Perfect. So, I was actually on my way to training camp with the Titans, and I was going there. You know, I actually left my house a day early so I can go there and, you know, relax for a day and be able to, you know, focus on actually playing football. So I was driving down I-40. It was probably me and probably two other cars or whatnot, and we were driving and just, you know, me just like I say, relaxing. And so pretty much the car ahead of me started like smoking. I'm like, okay, you know, we going up and down hills, you know, they're probably just, you know, wear and tear and whatnot. So probably about a mile later, like two big fireballs come from like under the car. I'm like, oh, well, maybe it's more than what I actually thought it was. So, but then they were like still like driving. So I'm like, oh, maybe they don't know. So turns out the lady that was driving, so there was also a semi beside us, and she saw the smoke, but thought the smoke was coming from the semi and not her car. So I drove beside them, got them to like pull over, and ran to the car and whatnot, and just looked in like to the back seat, and it was like three kids in like car seats, and by like pretty much at this time, because the car was actually stopped, the flames were coming from under the hood. So she could actually see it, but at the same time, she was still like kind of like shocked that this was actually happening to her. So I was like, you know, please open the door, let me try to help you, you know. So it was me and another guy by the name of Clint. Me and him ended up, you know, snatching out the kids or whatnot, and it was, for me, it was rough because, you know, it was two kids in like car seats, and then one kid was like in the middle without a car seat. So just trying to like maneuver them to actually get the car seats out or get the kids out of the actual car seats and whatnot was pretty difficult. But ended up getting everybody out, and they had a dog in the back in the trunk part. It was a Jeep Cherokee, so they had a dog and like the trunk part of the car. So ended up going back in and getting the dog out, as well as getting some like a purse, and, you know, just trying to get some of the things that like we could actually get before the car actually pretty much engulfed and everything was gone. Which did happen, and it was kind of crazy because I was in the car, and I was kind of like looking out, and I could see like the flames were like in the front seat, and like I was in the back seat. I could just feel the heat, and, you know, like during that time, it really didn't hit me, but like once I pretty much hit the road and started driving back to like camp or whatnot, my arms and stuff just started shaking. I was like, man, I could have easily died just now. So yeah, it was a very intense day.
Yeah,
damn.
That's definitely
Incredible.
a crazy story, and it's just glad you could be there at the right time. I've talked about before. There was a situation in 2015. I saved a guy from drowning, so you never know when you're in the right place at the right time. So
yeah, exactly.
Hero, definitely a hero for sure. Thank you, appreciate it.
I try, appreciate it. No problem at all.
A lot, real quick. Come on, guys. 2, 4, 3, 2, whatever. We're getting close to 200 likes. But Danny, I think before we head out, I'll just list off where we're at and who we got on next week.
Yep, go for it, bro. Let's do it.
All right.
Bro,
so
right after you do that, I want to read some super chats because people did pay for some.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shout-outs,
so next week we're on Eric's channel. I don't know if I'm pointing the right way. No, I'm not. Eric's channel.
Probably all the way over there, I guess.
Up there, Eric's channel. I'm probably still pointing still pointing the wrong way.
Okay.
There we go. There we go. That way. I hate this.
Anyway, and we just went over 200. Yes.
Yeah.
But yes, we're on Eric's channel next week at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, the normal time. We're going to be joined by later in that show. We'll be joined by Michael Roots, Our buddy Slap Shoes will be on, and Slap is going to help us interview Mark Martin. So that should be a fun one.
Yeah, it's gonna be a cool one. I'm definitely gonna ask Martin like which one hurt the most out of the 5 runner-up finishes. That's my question I gotta ask. I'm not being rude. I just want to know. I'm just curious. I'm just generally curious.
I have a feeling it's probably going to be honestly the Daytona 500 more than the championship.
Yep.
Probably, probably so. But I mean, Mark Martin's a Hall of Famer anyway, so like the championships in the grand scheme of things don't really matter now looking back. Because I mean, once you're in the Hall of Fame, it's like, well, I'm validated. So it'll be cool answering that.
Slaps in the chat going oof.
We'll get to see. We'll ask that. I mean, I asked the hard-hitting questions last week, so we'll ask them next week as well.
I might ask a few. We'll see.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of hard-hitting questions, let's see what people spent their hard-earned money on this week.
You. On you, apparently.
All right.
Then
Nicholas Gray gave $5 simply saying for the Joe Gibbs team. So $5 for the Joe Gibbs team. All right. Mr.
Toast to them.
Mr. Anti-Ant gave $1.99. When do you see Kyle Busch winning? I hope never. Well, I hope that.
Damn.
I didn't say that. He said it, and I hope that Jack Baskinger didn't see that because I'm surprised he's not in timeout.
Oh my god.
We got Slap Shoes coming in. Oh, you guys are gonna love this one. $5 said Blaney said stay strapped or get clapped, but he wasn't aware of his surroundings and Bob Jones and the chat.
Yeah, that's an inside joke. Little inside joke right there from the Bristol.
And we got this crazy.
Be aware of your surroundings.
And then we got this crazy glitch where I can't see the last one, but Mr. Anti-Ant gave another $1.99, so I appreciate that.
Yeah. Oh wait, it wasn't the Bristol house. It was Daytona. That's
Daytona.
Right.
Yeah,
that was
Daytona.
fun. Yeah. We've had so many trips now. I
wonder. Man, it's too bad Jet's not watching right now.
Yeah, I know. He's always the butt of it. But yeah.
Danny, I think we're ready for the longest outro of the podcast.
Oh god.
Only if we get something before it.
Oh yeah.
That's right. Go ahead, do your thing. I'm taking my headphones off.
Yeah, me too. Oh, it just blew out the speaker. I didn't hear any of that.
Give it one more for good measure. That wasn't that good.
Yeah, that one All
right, we're just going to deal with it.
He just blew out his own speaker. I think his mic is destroyed.
Good enough.
We could barely hear it. The mic was.
Yes.
Well, with that being said, this ain't the end of me. Bye-bye.